true Biafran. MAZI NNAMDI uniquely brings to you, Radio Biafra live broadcast by the eminent Supreme Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The Director of Radio Biafra. And the Supreme Commander of the Armies of Biafra. MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The evening broadcast, live, and direct, on the 10th day of June, 2015. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Browse Biafran Restoration websites at www.ipob.org, and radiobiafra.co. Also browse our website at www.biafran.org, to learn more about Biafra history. Visit our YouTube channel more often for the very best of Biafran videos. Enjoy it.
Triumphant from all our foes, through the crucible unscathed we passed victorious, our trumpets pealing the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra. We shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes, our prayer shall be known both day and night. Say them always, all hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Now our star shines everywhere.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on this very planet. Today is another day. This is another evening Today's date is the 10th of June in the year of our Lord 2015, with the time now approximately, I should say, 8 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening. I hasten to add, I should welcome each and every one of you, irrespective of where you are on the surface of this very planet we call Earth, that Chukwu Okike Abiyama has made for the habitation of man. Once again, this very evening from here in the United Kingdom, we assemble. In the holy lands of Biafra, people are listening very attentively. In the wider damnation called the Zoological Republic, the animal kingdom itself, full of baboons and monkeys, people are listening. Or should I say, animals are listening. All over this planet, across every time zone, there are Biafrans who are dedicatedly and without hesitation following the effort we are making, the sacrifice we are making now and yet to make. Those of us and those of them following this very absolutely relentless pursuit of freedom, liberty, and justice. That is why we exist. That is why we have come, or should I say, that is why Chukwu Okike Abiyama singularly determined that we should come. Given that we have come, this very gospel must be preached. Because once again, this very evening from the United Kingdom, we demonstrably prove beyond every conceivable doubt that anything we say on this platform comes to fruition. It doesn't matter the subjects under scrutiny or question. As long as we have made a pronouncement on this very platform, it is bound to come to fruition. This evening is not an exception, and we are going to prove it beyond every reasonable doubt. We have not written any of the news items we are about to present. We are merely blogging them. Others have written them from a position of, should I say, news reportage or objectivity in their own understanding, the way they see it. But we are bringing you this information to prove to you that Chukwu Abiyama asked us to come, that we are going to prevail, that Biafra must come, M-U-S-T, must. It is not conditional upon the whims and caprices of man. It is not dependent upon the niceties of diplomacy. It does not hinge on the subtleties of very fine negotiation. It hinges on only one thing. Is Chukwu Okike Abiyama satisfied with us enough to allow us to inherit his kingdom on earth? That is all that matters. And that is why we apply ourselves judiciously to this very task, bearing in mind and knowing fully well that there is nothing we are going to do on our path to derail this very noble enterprise. We cannot do it. That is why we are incorruptible. That is why we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. And that is why we do everything humanly and even superhumanly possible to ensure we keep our hands scrupulously clean, that Chukwu Okike Abiyama may continually find us worthy to be called his children, and in that very vein be able to bless us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, especially those of you in the far eastern part of the world. We are fighting for Biafra that you may come home. We are fighting for Biafra that the molestation and the degradation that happens on a daily basis on the streets of Malaysia, on the streets of China, on the streets of Singapore, and in some instances even in Indonesia may come to an end. We want to bring the children of the Most High home to where they belong. We want to assemble them, congregate them, that they may be able to praise heaven. Because that is our job, it is our calling, it is our duty, and that is what we are going to perfectly execute to the glorification of heaven and not that of man on this very earth. That is why we take our work very seriously. We take this very calling very, very seriously. We don't play or mess about with it because we know that what we are doing is noble. And this evening should not be an exception. As I have invited you and greeted you, so must you also invite those of them around you. Some people are far away from you, admittedly so. What do you need to do? You can email them, you can write to them, you can text them, you can WhatsApp them, you can use BlackBerry to let them, to notify them, of course, that Radio Biafra is live on CHK 97.6 Biafra FM, that Radio Biafra is live on 102.1, also on FM dial. Tell them we are live on 88.0. Try any of those three dials and you are bound to be lucky. You will receive Radio Biafra and, of course, participate fully in our program this very evening. When our lines open, you will be at liberty to call us. And if you do so, if you're lucky, we will take your call. And then whatever thing that it is you have to say will be to the attention of the whole of humanity, because indeed the whole world listens. Across every time zone on this very earth, wherever there is mankind, there is a Biafran there listening to Radio Biafra. That is why in terms of coverage, in terms of reach, in terms of content and depth, Radio Biafra is unsurpassed as a radio station anywhere on this very planet. Second to none. Radio Biafra has cult following. People who are religiously dedicated to the listenership of this very radio station. Because we have one thing that others do not have. We speak the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Man cannot stop us from doing so. Nothing made by man can stop us from propagating this very gospel in the whole truth that Chukwokika Biam has ordained that we must come here to preach and to speak. That is exactly what we are doing, and nothing is going to stop us. Nothing. If you come to listen to Radio Biafra, you are blessed. You are one of the chosen few. It means you are now about to leave darkness into light. Because when you come here, you will become enlightened. When you come here, we will expand your knowledge base. When you come to us, your understanding will grow exponentially. When you come to us, you begin to see things in a different light. In fact, when you come here, you will begin to embrace the wonderful nature of creation itself as embodied in the spirituality that we exhibit here on a daily basis, if we can, in the morning and also in the evening. You will come to the full realization that we are the children of light, that we descended from heaven for the sole purpose of bringing light to the darkness that is called Africa. That is where we exist, and that is why Biafra is going to come. In our watch, of course, in our time. Make no mistake about it. This is Radio Biafra. Welcome you. We are also on satellite. We are online. If you're lost, just go to Google. Type in Radio Biafra. Please, I beg you. Don't make any mistake. We don't answer any other name. We are not Biafra Radio. We are not Biafra. Then whatever thing. And then we are Radio Biafra. If you miss it, that is entirely up to you. And then they will begin to lie to you. They'll begin to deceive you. The spirit of Ifajina will enter inside you. Before you know it, you turn into a gossiper. And after 2 or 3, 4 weeks, you realize your folly, and then you want to come back to us. By then, it's too late. Nobody will accept you. As simple as that. We are Radio Biafra. Radio comes before Biafra. That is how you know it is us. Anything else is our Fulani. And we don't work with them and can never work with them. These are people that have come to complete the work of Ifajuna. They will not succeed in our time because we are learned. They will not succeed because we have learned from our past mistakes. This is my 20th year of studying Biafra. Nothing else but Biafra. We are not going to fail. We are incapable of failure. Before we go any further, if the barrister can hear me or if people are close to him, I know he's a very busy man these days. He should avail himself, of course, via the usual channel. He knows how to get through to us. When he does so, I will bring him to you. But in the interim, please, having informed those of them around you that we are live and we're direct, this very Tuesday evening, the 10th of June, 2015, we must now, of course, assiduously apply ourselves to the glorification of heaven, because we have nothing else to do than to worship Chukwokika Biama in truth and honesty. Heaven knows we don't write what we say here on Radio Biafra. We don't act to any script whatsoever. Anything that comes into our mouth is what we speak. The same way is given to us by heaven, so do we proclaim it on this very earth. That is why everything we say comes to pass. And this evening, I will tell you more. You know, every day we'll tell you about the things we talk about that happens. This evening, if you're in doubt as to the authenticity of this very gospel, all will be dispelled this evening. Every doubt will dissipate and disappear this very evening, because we know who sent us. We know why we are here. And when we tell you that Biafra is coming, Biafra is coming. We are not like the rogues, the vagabonds, and the thieves that will also go to connive with our enemies. Those who will use the name of Biafra to go and serve Islam. Those who come out and pretend they want to be part of what we are doing, only to gain cheap relevance with which they will go and start to bargain for a better life because they're very poor, because they're very wretched, and they're from very poor homes. As I said earlier, freedom fighting is not meant for those selling okra and the gusi. I'm telling you the truth. You may not like it, but it's the truth. There is no freedom fighting outfit in the entire world that is led by somebody who is poor. Impossible. You must be learned and you must come from a middle class background, or else you cannot run it. Things of the world will get into you. You begin to pursue money and wealth, and you forget what you're there to accomplish. That is why Obonyo cannot lead any freedom fighting outfit anywhere. Look at the shenanigans and the rubbish happening in the Niger Delta, because people are very, very poor and wretched indeed. They forgot freedom. They start to scramble for resource control, and today they're even poorer for it. Have they achieved freedom? The answer is no. Are they controlling the resources? The answer is no. What does that make them? That is what tells you that poor people don't do freedom fighting. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. And heaven is, of course, watching over what we are doing this very evening. If you're joining us for the very first time, please endeavor to tell your friends and your families, tell your neighbors, tell them exactly how you managed to get through to us. And by that very means also, you too will be able to participate. That is the best way to do it. If you come to us, we will come to you. And together we will present ourselves to the entirety of humanity. I must welcome you, and we must pray, of course. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on this very earth as it is in heaven. You have given us this day our daily bread. Please forgive us our sins as we forgive those that sin against us. Don't lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil, because we have no other person other than thee. These are the prayers prayed by the Messiah, the bringer of hope and peace and light to mankind, Yahweh Yeshua, that he prayed when his followers asked him, Rabbi, teach us how to pray. He offered by giving every glory and adoration to your holy name. And that is what we do here as well, because nothing compares to thee. There is nothing that can be equal to your magnificence and your glory. We are not even worthy to be called your children, but you found it within you and the graceful nature which is the embodiment of your goodness to allow us to be known, to be referred to, or to be called your own children. That is why we answer Wachuku, which means the Son of the Most High. We are here to kneel, to prostrate, to bow before you. We are here to lower our heads in prayer, to call upon you. You are the only one that can understand our suffering, our pain, our anguish, and the devastation that our Safolani through the colonizing British have wrought on the lives of your children. You will not allow shame to befall your holy name. We bear your name. You cannot sit in heaven and allow shame and dishonor to be brought upon your name. We have fallen short of your glory, that is true. O Lord of hosts, we have fallen short of everything expected of us, that we know, but we are here clinging on tenaciously to your coattails of goodness, to your coattails of grace and of pardon and forgiveness. We come to you with contrite heart. We have come to you because we have no more tears to shed. We have come to you because we are in pain. We have come to you because there is nowhere else to go to. We are lucky that we recognize in good time that only you can we seek refuge in. And that is why you have cleansed us of all our affliction. You have made us whole once again. You have promised us our inheritance, which is also your inheritance, that as long as we continue this way, as long as we recognize you and not bow before any idol, as long as we glorify your name and no other, as long as we regard everything that is man-made as the idol that it is, then you will save us. Biafra will come. Your kingdom will be restored on earth as it is in heaven, and that we may worship thee in truth and honesty. That is why Biafra will come, so that every honor, glory, adoration, and adulation will belong to your holy name now and forever. He said, here we worship heaven unashamedly, because we are the children of the Most High. There is nothing we do here that is not designed to deliver one singular outcome. Every utterance we make, every approach we adopt is designed to give us Biafra, to bring Biafra ever closer. And that is what we know is going to happen without any shred of a doubt. And as it will be proven this evening, beyond a reasonable doubt, even our enemies are now beginning to understand the greatness of this very enterprise. This is Radio Biafra. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very world. I command her armies, both civilian and military, or even paramilitary as the case may be. Wherever they are on this earth, I command the 17 commanders of the armies of Biafra. I am the director of Radio Biafra because I hold 3 titles, according to the way it has been formed from time immemorial. The embodiment and the mysticism of the number 3, Israel, Ethiopia, and Biafra, of course, and every other thing in between. Everything we do has to be in 3s, but sometime later we shall explain to you the symbolism of it all. But 4 is also wholesome, which represents all the 4 corners of this very earth, because when you refer to the earth, you say the 4 corners of the earth, which is north, south, east, and west, or Eke, Oriafa, and Donkwa. Everything is complete in our lexicon. Everything is complete about humanity, where we are. That is why we are chosen, and that is why Chukwukikabiama will continually reside and abide with us. I welcome you. Please welcome other people as well. And by the very special grace of heaven, not only are we going to remain incorruptible, not only are we going to steadfastly be known as those of them who are whiter than white and whiter than snow, we will not let you down. We will not disappoint you by his grace. We will not do anything to bring shame and dishonor unto this holy name, Biafra. We will not do anything to stall. We will not do anything to delay. We will not do anything on our path to ensure that Biafra will not come. Everything we do is geared and designed towards delivering one outcome: the restoration of the full and unadulterated sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra in truth and honesty. We shall be truthful, we shall be honest. Sometimes we get into trouble for that. Sometimes people may misunderstand us because of it, because it is not the way that black people do things. But here on Radio Biafra, we do things the way it is meant to be done by the children of light, the bringers of hope. We are truthful and we are honest, and that is exactly how Biafra is going to be founded. We will not have it any other way. As soon as the barrister is able to come to us, he will come to us. But in the interim, we must, of course, very judiciously proceed to the presentation of our news headlines and accompanying news summary, after which our lines will open. Then you will be able to call us. People are waiting very eagerly to call Radio Biafra, and you must call us. There is something very important I must announce this very evening for those of you especially listening via CHK 97.6 Biafra FM, because all my controls here is showing me blue lines, which means everything is fine. If for whatever inexplicable reason you encounter loss of transmission, we have our inquiry line. I announce this line intermittently, or should I say almost 90% of the time. I don't know how many of you have got the time and space and effort to note this number down and then to utilize it when the time comes. If you encounter any difficulty or problems with your transmission, you call our inquiry line, which for those of you in Biafra land is 090-907-76589. I repeat, 090-907-76589. That is the number to call. If your CHK where you are is down, that will be the number to call. Before our lines open, I will acquaint you with the numbers to call. But for now, from here, we must speedily proceed to the presentation of our news headlines and accompanying news summary. This is Radio Biafra, the finest radio station on this very earth. If you come here this evening, you're going to learn. That is one thing that is assured. If you go elsewhere, they just give you news, don't they? In English language, mostly. You don't understand the meaning of it. You cannot make head or tails of it. But all the same, you go ahead and you do it. Very sad indeed. But if you come here, you'll be educated, you'll be enlightened, you'll be informed. You will become knowledgeable, you will have wisdom. You will be able to understand what is being written about you and your circumstance. You will be able to make sense of it. Because here we teach. We just don't give you news. We broadcast and we lecture at the same time. We present news in a format where people for whom English is not their first language can be able to follow and understand it. That is why you have people who are criminals running your lives as politicians, and you are hopeless to stop them. You can't do anything to stop them. Why is that? Because your news is being presented by people who can even hardly understand English language, if the truth be told. There will be Directorate of State meeting immediately after this very broadcast at 10 p.m. UK time. There will be Directorate of State meeting. Attendance is compulsory, please. Compulsory, I said. Compulsory, everybody must attend. We must agree on a few things this very evening on how best to proceed, on how best to move forward. Attendance is compulsory. No excuses will be accepted, please. Bear that in mind. I am not a career freedom fighter. Freedom fighters. I'm not that rubbish. We are here to get Biafra, and that is exactly what we are going to do. It doesn't matter what the obstacle is. We surmount it and we continue. Because we are unstoppable and relentless. We never ever stop. Our enemies will get tired eventually, as they're not getting tired. But we don't. We continue until Biafra comes and beyond. Our lines are not open yet. I understand some people are trying to get hold of us via Viber. You cannot do so. The barrister will come to me on that very platform if he is disposed to be able to do so. In the absence of that, I will take your calls following the conclusion of our news headlines and also accompanying news summary. By way of headline this very evening, a Yoruba Pentecostal pastor called Tunde Bakari has finally explained what was in his dreams. He had a dream. I will give you the details of the dream later. So that any idiot who may be in doubt, any baboon or monkey who is in doubt about what we are doing, you will hear from those you give your money to every Sunday. On Sunday coming, some of you will also go to his church and dash him money. He will buy more private jets. He will build more private universities in Yoruba land. And you can't afford to even send your kids there. And you wonder why I call you a monkey and a baboon is because you can't reason very well. You know, they're afraid of us. They are now having nightmares. Yoruba pastors. This evening we will tell you what happened to one of them, so that you may know how serious Chukwu Kikabiama is with what we are doing. Some of you don't believe in what we are doing, but this evening, after this news this night, then you will believe by force. Because Chukwu Abiyama is telling you in every way possible that is with us. Anything we say comes to pass. That is the very first sign, the very first miracle you must hold on to. There is nothing we say on Radio Biafra that doesn't come to pass. Nothing. By the time I explain this very dream to you, you will come to that very same conclusion. And then anything we ask you to do, as our brother B. Debianu will say, anything we ask you to do, then you will do it. Maybe before tonight, some of you, you've not been taking us seriously. I am going to explain to you the dream of a Yoruba pastor, which was posted extensively today, by the way, so that you'll understand that Chukwu Abiyama is here. When I say it, people don't quite follow. Being typically Igbo people, and Yuku Obi Ojo is normal. Especially those of you that your mothers were wayward before, during, and after the war. Awusa to remember. You're answering Igbo names, but in actual fact, you are Awusa. So every characteristic of Awusa person, you possess it. But you're answering an Igbo name, not saying Naija Biafra. But some of us who can see in the spirit, we know who you are. I can tell you immediately that your father is Awusa. You can't cheat us. Anything you like, you do. Once Biafra comes, there will be DNA test. Everybody, including myself, will subject him or herself to DNA test. The result will be published publicly in every place. So if you come to your village, you know those that their mothers were wayward or forcibly raped during the war and gave birth to them. We must fish out all the Awusa blood within us. Sometimes you see them from the way they speak and comment, you can tell who they are. As soon as Biafra comes, that's exactly what we are going to do. Nobody's going to stop us. Are you going to stop us? They've not given birth to you. Pastor Tunde Bakari, Yoruba man, one of the criminals and thieves of Pentecostalism. These are those stealing in the name of Jesus Christ. After stealing, they present you with idol, because you're dumb. We have come to bring light to remove you from the bondage and iniquitous existence in the damnation called the Zoological Republic. That is why we are here. To take you home to where you belong. To take you back to light, to enlightenment, to running water, to good roads, and to good schools. To take you back to a place that will not know unemployment. To take you back to a land where men will have dignity. Where nobody will have need to run to Europe to come and do street cleaning. Tunde Bakari, Yoruba man, explains his collapse and his dream of a giant. This evening we tell you. Something we are joking. Chukwu Abiyama is here. I'm telling you the truth. Before heaven and this very earth. That is why anything we touch turns into gold. Anything we touch turns into gold. That I can tell you. It's turning into gold. It doesn't mean we have enough funds to do what we are doing. That is why this evening we shall also be revamping the finance committee to include some other people. I need them to go to work immediately. We are becoming a bit complacent, and I hate complacency. We must redouble our effort. All of us. If at all we want Biafra to come. Biafra will not come if we are lazy. I hate lazy people because I am not lazy. We can't have people who are idle working with us, just shouting Biafra, Biafra without putting the necessary work into it. I don't believe in such nonsense. I believe in hard work. Pastor from Yoruba land in confession, talking about giants in a dream. We'll explain to you later. And as we told you before, that some of you, when you go to church on Sunday, what you worship is idol. I was telling you that you thought we were joking. Today, there is a campaign. It was carried by New York Times in America that white people that brought you the Bible, they are now campaigning to put in the Bible that man can marry man. Anything we speak on Radio Biafra comes to pass. Nobody said this anywhere in the world apart from Radio Biafra. Today, New York Times carried it. That homosexuals and lesbians are now arguing seriously and lobbying that they should put it in the Bible that man can marry man, woman can marry woman. I warned you, didn't I? Some of you, we are talking rubbish and jumping up and down, baboons and monkeys from the darkest recesses of hell called the Zoological Republic. What do you know? How can you compete with light? We represent the light. Anything we say comes to pass. Priests are abusing little children. The Emir of Kanu is about to marry a 17-year-old girl. Buhari married a 9-year-old. They have made a law where you can marry a girl or rape a girl who is 11. All this nonsense are happening. People cannot see what is happening around them. But we are here to tell you As I told you before, they're about to change the Bible once again. So your grandchildren will grow up thinking that you can go to school and bring a Mecca home as your wife. We told you, didn't we? If you ignore what you hear on Radio Biafra, you will face eternal damnation. They say we deviate from politics into religion. And I say to them, because you are blind. My name is religious. I cannot deviate from it. Some of you who are not in the spirit, you think that Biafra is a child's play, is something you can discuss politically and just get away with it. No. Biafra is spiritual. Biafra is too deep for your understanding. Ask your parents why Biafra didn't come in 1967 to 70 because they were following idol. Today we have gone back to Chukwu Abiyama. Watch and see what is going to happen. This is Radio Biafra. New York Times, they're about to change the Bible once again to accommodate homosexuals. So that man can marry man, your daughter can go to school. Mommy, Angoreka wants to marry me. Chinya and Angoreka getting married. Mad people. This is Radio Biafra. More universities worsening unemployment in the zoo. When I warned you before, you didn't listen to anything we tell you is correct. You know, sometimes Chief Azike that gives me my news, he goes about just to 1 or 2 or 3 things to prove to you that what we are saying here is correct. I told you that if you're a graduate from a zoo university, I feel sorry for you because you're not a graduate. Honestly speaking, you are not. You are a glorified primary school certificate holder. You are not. You didn't go to school. I'm sorry to say, I'm telling people, honestly speaking, if you are a graduate from a zoo university since 1985, you are not educated. I am sorry, but it's the truth. You know, the truth is bitter. Very, very bitter indeed. More universities are making people unemployable because they don't teach. That was what we told you here before. Oh, I'm in this university. I'm about to graduate. Very empty. Because if the universities you're going to were teaching you and you're not dabbling into cultism, only students could have stood up to revolt against the corruption and the decadence in the society. But they can't do anything because they're not students. As first year student, second year, even third year, as a student, anywhere in the Western world, they encourage you to think radically. That is why anywhere in the world, in the Western world especially, students are always revolutionaries. They're always left-leaning because the lecturers encourage them to think radically. Your own, they encourage you to go and join cultism, Association of Sea Dogs. Maybe sometimes again, sea cockroaches, who knows. This is Radio Biafra. Your universities are making you poorer, as we told you before. A Biafran produces a vaccine that can cure HIV/AIDS. This man did this very research in the same university that produced all the bombs and the Obunigwe for Biafra, which is today called Michael Okpara University at Umudike in Biafra land. Nowhere else in Africa, of course. Isn't it funny? You see, when I tell you that we have come to bring light to just the whole world, some of you don't believe me. You're thinking, you look at it and say, but I'm black. My hair is not curly. How can Chukwu Abiyama use us to... You don't know who you are. Today, your brother has produced a vaccine that can cure HIV/AIDS. And 2 things, they're going to do things to him, of course. Either he goes mad or they come to rubbish him because he wasn't a white man that produced it. That's what will happen. Either they take him to America to go and bury his research finding because these days, most of you don't know that they have the cure to most diseases. But they don't want to bring it out. Because you see, to manage a disease is more lucrative financially than to cure it. I repeat. I remember somebody telling us in those days, I think in the early 90s, saying that when this whole HIV/AIDS thing we are raging, people were asking questions. How come it's only a simple virus? How come you cannot cure it? Somebody said on TV, I'll never forget, the day you know that HIV has a cure is when rich people contract it and they will not die from it. And then, after a short while, I think it was a Magic Johnson who contracted HIV/AIDS. And I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago, they tested him. They can no longer see the virus in his bloodstream or bone marrow. He's very wealthy, isn't it? Have you heard, apart from Rock Hudson, have you heard that any rich, wealthy Hollywood rock star died of HIV/AIDS in the past, say, 10 years? No, not at all. But these are the things you need to know. Today, from my hometown where I come from Umuahia, of course, there is a cure for HIV. This man, they'll make him go mad, or they'll come and they'll publish it in the Lancet, in the British Journal. They will say the cure is not real because the white man doesn't have it, or they will send the white man now to Umudike to go and poison him and kill him off. I remember the man who produced hydrogen-fueled car. Do you know that the water you drink is fuel? No, I don't think you do. You see, the water you drink, you fetch from your borehole, your contaminated borehole to drink is fuel. You can use it to light up something. Are you aware of that? No, you don't. But if you ask NASA, they will tell you that they're looking for signs of water in Mars, so that when they go to Mars, they can remove oxygen from hydrogen to use the hydrogen to power the machinery there to be able to sustain life on Mars. You say to them, but you're looking for water in Mars, but there is water here. Why can't you convert water or remove oxygen from hydrogen to use the hydrogen to power our plants? They will tell you, no, it is not possible. Why? Because they want oil to dictate the world stock exchange. Because if you do it, the economy of the world will collapse. So there was this man in Canada, who produced a car that can run on hydrogen, who removed hydrogen successfully from water to use it to power a vehicle. He was bought over, and that was the end of it. So something is going to happen to this our brother. Either they kill him or they buy him over and say that your drug is not working. That's what they do, because it's far more better for the pharmacies, of course, in America, to be producing all these capsules telling you it is retroviral when the cure is there. It makes them more money. You see, they are richer that way. The stocks will keep going up every day at FTSE 100 or the New York 250 index. Every day, the stock market will keep rising up. GlaxoSmithKline, Beecham. You don't know. They manage illness. They no longer cure it because they feel it's far more lucrative. These are good people. How Satan got into them, I have no idea. And that is why now they're telling you man can marry man. They'll put it in the Bible very soon. After all, some of the dioceses here, you have the bishop is living with the boyfriend in the vicarage. I know what's in the Bible, one. Bishop and the partner. One worker. Bishop and the man. Man is bishop. The wife of the bishop is a man. Does that make sense to you? I'm not stopping them from doing what they want to do. But don't go contrary to nature. Man and man cannot give birth to a child. That is the law of nature. You can't change it. So we are not against people living their lives. Anyhow you want to live it, that is your business. We don't care. I don't care what you do in your house. That is your business. But don't try and tell us that something that is unnatural is now natural. We are not stupid. Please. Let's continue. The preventable Accra flood and explosion. Ever since people have been the president of Ghana and running Ghana, such disaster has never visited Accra before. But there was a time I told you, not too long ago, that the reason why Accra is going through this nonsense and Ghana is because someone is in charge, John Mahama. Some people from Accra, of course, they took it seriously. The actors, they came out to protest. For Ghana to become okay once again and have regular electricity supply, remove the Awasa man. Go to anywhere Awasa Fulani is in charge of the country. That country is very poor and backward. If Ghana wants to move forward, John Mahama has to resign. Because today we are reporting that Accra is being flooded and there was also an explosion. Why? An Awasa man is in charge. They are very, very backwards. That is something some of you don't know, but we do here on Radio Biafra. Of course we do. And also, Biafra secessionists accuse trial judge of bias because of the ongoing trial of our brother Benjamin Onwoka. We shall report it in a short while. He did nothing wrong. He went to go and make a broadcast, free speech, in a radio station that is meant to provide public service. And he was arrested and put in jail. We campaigned for him to be brought back from Abuja very vigorously, and we brought him back. Our campaign brought him back to Enugu. He's facing trial. As I said, I kept quiet purposely to see what people would do. The people are just perambulating up and down. But we are going to intensify our effort to make sure that we release Benjamin Onwuka. Very, very important, please. And all Biafrans who are illegally being detained. Everybody, not minding the group you belong to. We must make sure that they are free. We must campaign for them to be released. They are all prisoners of conscience. Sabotage is stalling projects in Igbo land, according to Gurog. Sabotage is stalling NIPP, which is a power supply in the southeast. Southeast is Igbo land. That's your name. Your name is Southeast. And I come to England and I ask you, what is your name? They said, we are from Dorset. We are from Wales. We are Scottish people. We are from Northern Ireland. We are from the Irish Republic. We are from France. But where I come from, I'm from Southeast. This one's from South. This you black people. Black. This your G. We hardly make sense sometimes, don't we? Very hardly. No wonder we are poor. But we continue. Sabotage is stalling development in the heart of Igbo land, according to some people, which I find out later. NNPC, the den of fraudsters, yet to remit 11.6 billion liquefied natural gas dividends, according to a group of them called the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, whatever garbage that means. In a nutshell, you know NNPC, they're in charge of all the oil and gas. It's a government company that shouldn't exist in the first place, because normally you should give every exploration activity to the private sector. They pay money as part of taxes and royalty direct to treasury. Company by company, that's how it's done. Anywhere in the world, there is no need for another additional layer of bureaucracy, which is what NNPC is. But Awasa is using it to siphon the money, because Awasa wants to touch the money before it hits the coffers. And they have stolen, wait for it, $11.6 billion. Every day money is missing. And some people are still saying, we believe in one Nigeria. You see how daft we are? Crude swap. The zoo earned 62.9 billion in 2012, according to these same people. But where is the money? Salaries are not being paid. They say that the zoo army fighting Boko Haram, they don't have the equipment. It's only now that they're bringing British and Americans to come in and give them some money. Roads are not being built. Bridges are not being built. Now the question is very simple. Where has 62.9 billion gone to since 2012? Where is the money? Nobody knows. Nobody will tell you where it's gone to. These same people telling you about one Nigeria, how they love Nigeria, Nigeria our nation, Nigeria we hail thee. They have used this money, wait for it, to go and build refineries abroad. Therefore, or thereby giving jobs to other people, or not to baboons and monkeys called Nigerians. No, they won't give to Nigerians. They go outside and they build refineries outside. They take your crude oil and they take it outside and they refine it and they bring it back and you pay them subsidy. Before they bring it in, you pay them subsidy. Now, the same petrol you have paid subsidy for, at the filling station, you also pay. Do you see how stupid you are? Only in the zoo. 62 billion. Ask them where is the money. They have shared it amongst themselves. And after sharing this money, before some of them left office, they still went to banks to go and borrow money to put the states in more debt. States Jogo. But this 62.9 billion, where is the money? Did you invest it in electricity? The answer is no. So where is it then? They have shared the money. It's gone. This is what the world doesn't know. And that is why they listen to Radio Biafra, because when they come here, we teach them exactly what they never ever in their lives expected to come across or expect to come across. When they come to us, we teach them. We say this zoo you call this zoo called Nigeria, that you're saying you must be one. These are the things happening there. Will you, as David Cameron, can you live in such a place? Obama can, because he has African blood in him. You know, we are very slightly crude. So we can stay, even if it's in the gutter, we can live there. Who cares? As long as you're breathing, you're okay. But there is no decent European or American who want to live in the zoo. Unless you're a fraudster. Unless you're a thieving, conniving criminal. The place is not conducive for human habitation. You wake up in the morning, the government that is meant to be protecting you by spending money or allocating it judiciously, they are the ones stealing money. So who are you going to run to rectify the problem? So who's going to solve the problem then? Since everybody is a thief. Nobody. That is why they choose prayer and fasting. And you know Chukwuabiama, he doesn't listen to them. If you do fasting, you get disease and you die off. People go there to eat long grain rice, and that's it. The former imbecile occupying Aso Rock, the very hopeless and useless Jonathan, the worst president in the history of humanity. This man is the person who took it upon himself to degrade the office of the presidency. In terms of idiocy and stupidity, Jonathan is unsurpassed in the history of mankind. Jonathan is hopeless from head to toe. The worst president ever in the history of the whole world. I have never seen anybody more imbecilic than Jonathan. Useless in every way possible. Useless. They are not telling him he's not a hero. You lost election and you're a hero. This is the only man who thinks that losing election makes you a hero. He's the hero of the people. Nobel Peace Prize. You lost a bloody election, you fool. He's a hero. Of course, black people in this UG from Africa. Black. You lose the election and you're a hero. So if you win, what will happen? You become Superman. Lunatics. They said he's not a hero or anything. People are, they ask people, is he a hero? Jonathan is an imbecile. He's nobody. Edo workers protest non-payment of 32 months salary arrears. But Oshomolowe, the very ugly looking baboon, the governor of Edo State, went and married a yellow girl. Is it from Ivory Coast? I don't know where she comes from. Yes, and had a very lavish reception. But teachers have not been paid. Workers of Edo for 32 months, they have not been paid. But the same people went to vote for him. So when I call black people baboons and monkeys, people don't reason. I'll say to themselves, why is he calling us these names? You have not been paid for 32 months, which means for some of you for over 2 years. They said there is election. Somebody came to your house and gave you 500 naira to vote for him. The same person responsible for non-payment of your salary, you went out to vote for him. That means you are not worthy to be called a human being, and you can never be a human being in your life. That is why Africa is poor, because Africans cannot reason very well. That is their problem. It is not the fault of the white man. The white man is doing what comes naturally, which is to take advantage of the weak. Even in the Bible, it says, they will take from the poor and give to the rich. It's only normal. But you have African people waiting for the white man to come and organize everywhere for them, do everything for them, and you are dreaming. If I was a white person, I would do exactly the same thing. I'll come and take your money because you're foolish. You can't reason very well. Somebody is earning your salary for over 2 years. You still went and voted for that very person. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Let's continue. This is Radio Biafra. Oshomolowe, those states owing people. But does it matter? Owing somebody, is that a problem? There are people now maybe somewhere in Akwa Ibom or people in Cross River, maybe even people in, say, Lower Benue. They're owing them in Edo. It doesn't really matter. I'm not affected. But you know how blacks reason. I'll give you an example with Biafran people. Islam is coming very slowly to them. They can see Islam coming. They know what it means for them. But because it hasn't really affected them, they won't do anything about it. Typical black people. That was why only 5,000 white men came to Africa and colonized the whole of Africa. Only 5,000 white men came from Europe. A white man will come with a ship. The funniest thing is that some of the ships are even staffed by, ship hand black people. You have the captain of the ship who is a white man, the maybe assistant or vice captain or whatever it's called. Maybe about, say, 6 white people on a ship. And they come from Europe. They pack the ship somewhere in West Africa and they will conquer it. They will take a whole village and put there. We'll be watching them like the sheepishly like cattle. They take all of us, they take us to Caribbean, they dump us there, we are working the sugarcane plantation. They come back and they come and take more. I remember Abiola saying, we want, some people in America, we want reparation for slavery. I say, you people are foolish. You should be the one paying them money because of your stupidity. Were your hands broken? So you couldn't fight only 5 white people. They pack their ship and they take an entire village. All of you are there just watching sheepishly like Atro. After a few years, you want compensation. You're mad. Don't pay them any dime. We are slaves because we chose to be slaves. Look at other races in the world. They said we're not going to be slaves and nobody enslaved them. It's up to you to say no to being a slave. Not after you have willingly gone to be a slave. Then you come back and say, pay me compensation. You're a fool. You have no shame. I don't believe in that garbage. Compensation, my foot. The zoo needs $2.5 trillion to bridge infrastructure gap. These fraudsters, they have come again. I told you about the story of one Yoruba man that said that he's a Professor Adegoke of University of Ife. I'll never forget. He wrote to Babangida when Babangida came in newly. He said he will use nuclear rays to bombard wheat and the zoo, because then, believe it or not, the zoo was importing flour for making bread. Babangida then said, in fairness to Babangida, he had very good economic plan anyway, I must say, in fairness to him. But of course, it was unimplementable because you're dealing with black people from Africa. Our reasoning capacity is not at that level yet. Do you know what happened? Adegoke submitted his brief to Babangida. I remember very clearly. I remember it like it was yesterday. The man said he wanted mobilization fee. I read it on a newspaper then. It was on a newspaper. How much then was the mobilization fee? He said $10 million. I will never ever forget. Professor Adegoke. I don't know where he has run to now. Ndiyoshi. Babangida gave him $10 million to go and make this bumper wheat harvest possible. He said he will bombard the seed with nuclear rays. And then if you plant the seed, there will be wheat everywhere. And then we can mill it into flour and then bake bread. Otawune is lies. Money was given to these bastards. They ran away with the money. Today, another group has come up. They said that the zoo needs $2.5 trillion to bridge infrastructure gap. Have you traveled from Oshodi? You know that airport road? Have you traveled from there to the airport? No, you haven't. Try traveling from there to the first overhead bridge, flyover, and then you will know how wretched black people are. You know how dirty we are. You know we don't have taste, we don't have class. You will know how grubby people are. You will see filth. You will see how dirty society is. You're looking for 2.5 trillion infrastructure. The one you have you maintained it? The answer is no. We continue to bring our headlines this evening before we give you our news in detail. The military invades Zakibiam again. Anytime some of you don't know what Zakibiam means, ask Obasanjo, he will tell you. Another killing field. You see, we grew up with Metasine. We grew up with all these Awasa paramilitary killing people. There was never a time or period when there was any massive military invasion into a Metasine territory, or Boko Haram for that matter. Do you follow me? There was never a time, but peaceful communities, the army will invade. It was Obasanjo that sent killer squad to Zakibiam before. Some of you don't know this. But will Obasanjo go to International Criminal Court? The answer is no. Why? Because he belongs to Grand Lodge. Grand Lodge is part of them and Oboni. Oboni is the local version. Grand Lodge is the big one. And the Grand Lodge is affiliated to Freemasonry. In other words, all the magistrates around the world that will indict them are members of the same club, which is the Freemasonry. And today you call it Illuminati, isn't it? Ndioti. So you don't know that's why they don't like us. Because we have no secret society. I remember one of the archaeology and foremost authorities on archaeology in the world saying that Jerusalem was not the city of David because there were no statues. Do you know that white people that they worship idol, that they're idol worshippers? No, you don't know, do you? If you go to Rome, everywhere you see idol, You see statue everywhere. Everywhere is a statue. Everywhere is a statue. It started from the Greeks. The Romans took it. Even the Phoenicians of Egypt did it as well. The building of statue is the clearest indication that people are idol worshippers. Then, if you visit, this is the most interesting thing of all. If you visit Israel, the birthplace of all the religions of the world, I won't say all the religions because these are all where all the religions of the world come to draw inference and legitimacy. They infer Jerusalem and they draw their legitimacy from Jerusalem. That is why you have the Islamic, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and also the Dome on the Rock inside the Temple of Solomon, to tell you how troublesome they are. We'll come to that later. Do you know that in the whole of Jerusalem, even in the old city of Jerusalem that I have been to, there is no statue? Do you know that kings of Israel never believed in statue? Because they don't want any image that people can misconstrue for God and begin to worship it. And that brought me also to Biafra land. You know, as religious as our forefathers were, although they built the pyramids at Udi, they never had any visual image or representation of anything. Nothing to represent Chukwokikabiam. Only when they come out in the morning, they look up to heaven and they pray. If you miss RadioBiafra, you miss a lot, isn't it? If you come here, you learn. God dismisses 9. Everything is fraud. Oshi, everywhere. What you'll be hearing is billion, trillion, billion, trillion. But can some of that money go to the building of Second Niger Bridge? The answer is no. Will the construction of Second Niger Bridge help economic activities? The answer is yes. But why not? No, now. These are baboons and monkeys that don't know anything. They're in the zoo. It's like monkey come and chop banana in the zoo. They don't know anything. They know the price of everything and the value of nothing. These are black people from Africa. Feel sorry for them. They're very daft, honestly. Court dismisses 9.2 billion naira fraud case against ex-Bayelsa Governor Silva. Court dismisses the case, as we expect them to. They will dismiss it now, Ndioshi, criminals and vagabonds. And a church has been turned into a mosque by ISIS in Iraq, in Mosul. That will happen to the same St. Michael's Church in your village. In my own case, it was St. Andrews. That's where I was baptized, and I was a chorister. St. Andrews Anglican Church. If we continue, now, St. Andrews Church will turn into a Quranic school. That church, CKC we went to, it will be turned into a mosque. But because the war is not now in Aba, you cannot see it. But it's coming. Nobody saw the war going to Libya, did they? You never knew Somalia would be taken over by Islam, did you? But it's happening. It's going into Egypt here as well. Everywhere will be overrun unless the world stands up. In other words, as soon as Obama leaves, the better for everybody, because Obama is the cause of it. Mosul Church turned into mosque by ISIS, the same people who are partners with Boko Haram. And they have also seized enough radioactive materials to build their first weapon of mass destruction. Islam is going to destroy the world. They will get their hands on atomic bomb. Why do you think America is keen in giving it to Iran? So Islam can threaten and dominate the whole world. You don't know that? They said even ISIS has built one now. Imagine we are the only ones left, unconverted to Islam. All they need to do is to give it to Boko Haram. They come and plant it in, where Okorocha will fly them in. That is why I say that some of you share the whole mouth. Some people are not well. Do you know some people are supporting Okorocha? Okorawasa, Malam at Douglas house. Are you aware of that? This is the man that Satan has planted in the heart of Biafra land. Owerri is the epicenter, right bang in the middle of Biafra land. Owerri is at the center, from the east, from the west, anywhere you come from. Owerri is right in the center of Biafra land. That is why it's called Owe Nke Eri. Owe Eri. E-R-I. The same way you have Aguleri, Umuleri. Owerri is Owe Eri. It's not one word, it's two words. Owe Eri. For your information. That was why Eri chose that place. It is right in the middle of the kingdom of heaven. And do you know what Satan did? Satan sent somebody direct to the center. All your men are in the ship with your women, your daughters, and they are steaming off to America to go and sell them. The worst thing that can ever happen to Biafrans and to Igbo-speaking people in particular is the emergence of Rochas Okorocha. Okorocha is the worst thing that can ever happen to our people. Now I'm telling you, you won't listen because you're black. And this UG, you don't listen. The same way I'm reading about what we told you here that came to pass, one day I will come on air and say, I told you so. By then, it will be too late. Okorocha is the conduit for Islam. Through Okorocha, Islam will penetrate our land. That's why he's there. Write it down on a piece of paper. I don't do prediction. I tell you what is going to happen before it happens. And when it happens, I will tell you. Do you not hear me say it before? Let's continue. 110 million naira fraud. Workers begin indefinite strike. Everywhere is stealing, looting, cheating, pillaging, and rape. Everywhere in the zoo, there is no good news. None whatsoever. Unpaid salaries. Aregbe Shola says, I sympathize with workers, but where is their money? You did budget of last year, 2014. You said XYZ amount is allocated for paying of salaries. Why can't you pay poor people? Because you're a black man and you're very wicked. It's in your nature, you see. You know, we know how wicked we are as a people. Very evil and wicked. That's why he's not paying. That is why in Biafra land, what any office holder does in public office will be determined by the Constitution. Because in Biafra land, as a governor or district administrator, you won't have a foreign bank account. For all the years you'll be serving, you cannot travel abroad. Are you aware of that? You can't go. Well, what are you going to do? How many foreign head of state come to your village? So stay there and do the work. That way they spend all the money that is given to them there. But once you have a governor, you are free to travel to America. You are free to go to Europe. They steal your money and they run away. And sheepishly, next 4 years, if they call you, you go and vote for them again. Of course, because you're black. Why do you think Africa is poor? Because it contains black people. Don't you know that? Because it's black people. You know, some of you want it to be palatable, to make things nice. Oh, why don't, it sounds a bit harsh. But can you tell me any other part of the world as wretched as Africa is, black Africa? The answer is none. It's only you who is poor. Have you asked yourself why are we this poor? No, you won't. You're there feeling sorry for yourself. As if feeling sorry for yourself will change anything. Rise up and be a man or a woman and do what is right. Imo workers have now turned hospital into prayer ground. Praying and fasting will solve everything. Do you see how foolish we are? Somebody is stealing your money and you're outside, you're praying. Holy Ghost fire, come down. The person you're saying come down is in aeroplane, first class, traveling abroad to go and bank the money. That is your salary. And you're there shouting, Holy Ghost, come down. Stupidity. Idol worshippers. The news in greater detail. The time now is 12 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening here in the United Kingdom, broadcasting to the whole of humanity. This is your radio station which you fund and support. This is Radio Biafra, the only publicly owned agency of its kind in the whole of Biafra land. This is the only institution that the South and Southeast, they own together. No more ACB, no Cooperative and Commerce Bank. They have stolen everything. The only thing that people can rise up and say, our radio station is Radio Biafra. Because the other ones are Imo State, Abia, Absu, Ibsa, nonsense name without meaning, which is basically a propaganda tool for the governor. Oh, do you know that Ochendo has gone to commission 1 inch road today? Oh, Ochendo Global is now at his house watching TV. Ochendo Global has come out. He has gone into the bathroom to go and have a shower. Oh, what news? News. Oh, dear me. Stupidity is a disease, I'm telling you. Imo workers are praying on the hospital ground for for miraculous intervention. It's your stupid brain that needs to be intervened, honestly speaking. Our stupidity sometimes is astonishing. If you don't like it, you change. If you don't like it, you change. I don't believe in feeling sorry for myself. I blame nobody for my own shortcomings. I blame myself and I rectify it. Don't blame the white man. Blame your stupidity for allowing such evil to continue in the first place. This is Radio Biafra. Yoruba pastor Tunde Bakari explains his collapse. In a YouTube video reviewed by Sahara reporters of this past Sunday's sermon, Pastor Bakari, Yoruba man, added that the cause was exhaustion, too much work, too much people pressure. What was this man's problem? I ask. Some of you may not know, but what was the man's problem? And we are about to tell you what his problem was. Pastor Tunde Bakari, one of the heavyweight Yoruba thieving candidates, these are people with authority from Satan to come and confuse and bamboozle people, claiming they are preaching Jesus Christ to them. These are people, this man was once a Muslim. You know, the funniest thing is that this man was once a Muslim. This, it's like a business opportunity. They saw the opening. Once Americans started it, this Pentecostal evangelism nonsense, they saw it as a way. Do you know the funniest thing is that you can keep going to church and praying for miracle. You're giving your money to pastor, but the pastor is not accountable for it. If you come and tell you that Jesus has it, Jesus. Whereas if you pay your tax, every penny you contribute to Radio Biafra, we use it to run Radio Biafra. We use it to run IPOB all over the world. We use money to pay for our embassy. From that same funding that we have, we feed your army. We prepare them and ready them for battle. From that same funding, every public service we discharge is there. But do you know that there is somebody that you give money to every Sunday? You don't ask the person how much they're spending or how they're spending your money. It's your pastor. Are you aware of that? But some idiots will have the temerity without contributing one dime to Radio Biafra. The idiot will stay somewhere and be yapping rubbish. Oh, it's our money. Oh, take a penny. I welcome scrutiny. I love it. It makes you to be more efficient. But do you know that none of you, how many of you has actually been to the pastor to ask and say, please, pastor, all that money from crusade ground, where is it? No, Jesus is here now. Jesus has the money. If he's a white man, they put you in prison. If you try that nonsense in the UK, you go, because you're a charitable organization. You're supposed to spend every money that you make promoting the cause you claim that you're fighting for. But in the zoo, they take the money and they buy a private jet. This man was once a Muslim. They saw the business opportunity in Christendom. It's not Christianity, Christendom. The rulership of Christian dogma and mindset. That's what you practice. You don't practice Christianity. They came in, they changed the market. With the Yoruba media preponderance, because they're everywhere, they started to promote, because what Yoruba does is abateke. Yoruba media will promote a Yoruba pastor. When a Yoruba pastor becomes very wealthy, he will go and be giving the editors money. That's what they do now. So it's a business that they do. Con man, these are con artists. That's what they do. Yoruba, that's their job. They have promoted this man from being a Muslim. Today, his name is now Tunde Bakari. No more Islam. He's now a pastor. And he has a private jet. Very rich. Every blessed weekend, you ship nearly 6 billion from Biafra land to Lagos. Yoruba axis. Lagos Ibadan. Why do you do that? Because you're stupid. You claim you are looking for miracle. What useless miracle are you looking for? The school your child went to is not good enough. And you're looking for miracle. At school. Your child don't know anything. You want your child to get to work with your company. But the child doesn't know anything. You're praying for miracle. You give your money to Yoruba pastors and they buy a private jet. Let us tell you what happened to this man so you understand what we're saying. Pastor Tunde Bakari offered the first details after his May 18th collapse. He collapsed on the 18th. They are praying for us to collapse. They're the ones collapsing. These are the pastors that are gathering against us, praying for us to collapse. They are the ones collapsing. This is the first miracle. Let's continue to tell you what happened to him. While on stage at his latter rain assembly church, Pastor Bakari told members of his church this past Sunday that I was discharged on Wednesday with a clean bill of health. So he went to hospital. Jesus didn't. So this is the man praying for people to get healing. But when he collapsed, he ran to hospital. No more healing for him. Am I going this? If you're sick, oh, are you on the line? Call this line 070-998-2496. Call this, you receive your healing. Okay, I agree. Oh, where is the pain? It's on my chest. Put your hand on your chest now. Begin to testify. Call Jesus. Call Jesus. By the way, how much do you have there? Ndioshi. Now, senior pastor Tunde Bakari has collapsed in church. They took him to hospital. Nobody prayed for him to get better. He ran to a doctor. That's our job now, to expose evil. Don't you know that? That's our job. Pastor Bakari told members of his church that he has been discharged on Wednesday with a clean bill of health. Not from Jesus. A doctor discharged him, not to Jesus. In a YouTube video reviewed by Sahara reporters of this past Sunday's sermon, Pastor Bakari added that the cause was exhaustion, too much work, too much people pressure. He also, too much, of course, we are putting pressure on him. Actually, he's an agent of Satan. Why can't we put pressure on him? These criminals and vagabonds. They think we are afraid of people. You must be insane. You should be afraid of us. Let's continue. He also said, I have not been taking enough water, so I am on compulsory medication of 2 liters of water per day. Pastor Bakari explained that his exhaustion was caused in part because of his travels between Lagos, Abuja, London, Atlanta, USA. This pastor is what are you doing in London? Are you going to preach to those that brought you the Bible or what? Let's leave that and continue. He also stated that he ignored the warning signs in the days leading to his collapse. Pastor Bakari also recalled the premonition he had during a dream. He described that a humongous giant in Igbo clothing chased and mocked him. Are you listening? A Yoruba pastor said he had a dream. In that dream, a very huge giant, Igbo giant, was chasing him in the dream and was mocking him. After listening to this, you still doubt Radio Biafra and what we do? Did I touch him? The answer is no. I didn't touch him. We just preach the word of God. We give order here and the angels of heaven carry it out. I told you that you would not have seen anything like us before. You have never seen anything like this before. You can once, even when we die and we are buried, you can never see us again. Our type you can never see again. Let me tell you. You think we are joking here? Yoruba is running. Yoruba is running. Let me tell you the dream the Yoruba pastor had about us. That they are scared. And they have to be scared. They need to be scared. Have you heard about Buhari's own dream? No, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Chukwu Abiama gave us only one directive instruction. Go and speak the truth. Any day you are afraid of speaking the truth, I'll remove the glory from you. Don't be afraid of any idiot. Go and speak the truth without fear before your enemies. And I, the Lord of hosts, will send an army of angels before you. When they see you, they will run. So says the Lord of hosts. They thought we were joking. Yoruba man collapsed. A thieving pastor collapsed. He saw us in his dream. We turned to giants overnight. He was sweating and he collapsed. They took him to hospital. This is what he said. One afternoon, according to Tunde Bakari, I had a dream. It was an unusual dream. I saw a ring on my little finger. I don't wear 2 rings. I only wear 1. I looked up and coming from my left side was an unusual giant I had never seen before. It was unusually humongous. It was very big and wore an Igbo attire. A Biafran attire, he should have said. It was a giant and it was coming towards me. all that I knew to do was raise the finger up. As soon as I raised it, this giant laughed and went on. I returned back to consciousness. I praise Chukwu Abiyama that found us worthy to send us. I'm telling you. I praise him and will not let him down. Ezioku Chineke. I said to you before that when we go to battle, our Fulani soldier will see a Biafran soldier and they will collapse. We won't touch them. I want to show you that there is a miracle coming. I want to prove to you that Biafra is a miracle. I want to prove it to you that Chukwu Abiyama wants to give you Biafra as the last good thing he will do for you. If you don't worship him in truth, honestly, he will destroy all of you. Overnight. Bear that in mind. Yoruba is on. They're afraid. Yoruba pastors are now beginning to see us in their dreams. You know what that means? I don't think you do. Because you are not in the spirit. How can you know? How can you know? Let's continue. That's number one. Number two, what we told you before that came to pass. Every day, one after the other. That is why we say, Ana Wonere. You don't need to travel too far. Don't go too far. Come close and we'll educate you. How can Christians live in peace with the lesbians, gay, bisexual, and transgender community? Lesbians, gay, those who are bisexual, and those who are transgender. Transgender means one day you are Joseph, the next day you want to be Janet. You go and cut off everything about you that makes you a man. You want to be a woman. Things you don't know. But this is Radio Biafra. Let's continue. In April, third column, Bigotry, the Bible, and Lessons of Indiana. There is somebody called Bruni. He's gay. He recognizes that Christian beliefs are not necessarily grounded in hatred. The problem, he claims, is that beliefs ossified over centuries and easily shaken off. He is telling you that some of you, that some of the things you read in the Bible were put there by men, but over centuries, it becomes so solid that if they are preaching to you the truth, you can no longer see it. More like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Let's continue. According to this transgender called Bruni, what we believe about homosexuality is a choice and not derived from God's word. God never said don't be a homosexual. That's what he's saying. After all, he argues the belief that homosexual practice is sinful prioritizes scattered passages of ancient texts over all that has been learned since, as if time has stood still, as if the advances of science and knowledge meant nothing. So Bruni thinks he can simply dismiss the Bible as ancient text, explaining that all writings reflect the biases and the blind spots of their authors, cultures, and eras. But for devout Jews and Christians, the scripture are not just any writings full of biases and blind spots. If that was the case, there would be no basis for our faith whatsoever and no absolute moral foundation of any kind, which I agree with. Bruno also repeats, Bruni rather, not Bruno, Bruni is his name or her name. You know, he's a man that turned to a woman, so I don't know what to, if it's a he or she. Come on, what does it go to? Maybe, not man, not woman, I don't know what to call them. To the contrary, every law dealing with marriage and family, every positive example and precept, every illustration in the Bible about sexuality, morality is based on heterosexual relationships. That's why there was not a need to condemn homosexual practice on every page. Everything in scripture was against it. Bruni claims that our biblical-based faith elevates unthinking obeisance above intelligent observance, which is why our debate about religious freedom should include a conversation about freeing religions and religious people from prejudices that they needn't cling on to and can indeed jettison, much as they have jettisoned other aspects of their faith's history, highly bowing to enlightenment of modernity, which is to say, change the Bible. Simple English. That's what he's saying. Let us put it in there that a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman, a man can decide to be born as Chukwemeka. the next week, he can come back home and say, understand that rubbish. That's what they're planning to do. And they're going to do it. They are planning to change the Bible with another King James Version, the 9th edition. Truth is constant. Very, very constant. It never ever changes. This is Radio Biafra. Everything we tell you is gospel. The Americans are planning to change. In New York, homosexuals and gay, they are planning to change the word of God. Let's continue. Another news we gave you before, which is also now being confirmed. The National Directorate of Employment says the creation of more universities has compounded the ZOO's unemployment challenges. The more universities you create, the more idiots you turn out as graduates. Where did you hear that first? Of course, on Radio Biafra. Okay, who else has the guts to say such? It's only us. Before we came, did anybody know that Obama was a Muslim? The answer is no. It's only Radio Biafra that announced it. Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. But they were afraid to say it before. It added that attention must be given to the small-scale businesses that could provide employment for the majority of the populace to solve the problem. They listen to Radio Biafra, they copy, they rewrite it, they wish-wash it. We told them before that small to medium-scale businesses is where the bulk of employment lies. They have copied it, and that is why I'm not telling them any other thing. I'm not announcing anything anymore on air. I'm not telling them anymore. Anything we say, they copy without giving us credit for it. Before Radio Biafra, has anyone complained that zoo universities were actually an impediment to employability? No. It's only when they heard from us. And everybody's jumping up and down. Small scale to medium scale business. You listen to Radio Biafra, then you come out and you become an expert. I remember somebody who knew nothing about amalgamation. After listening to us, our epic of the 31st of December 2013, they came out the next day and everybody's now an expert on amalgamation. And I asked them, do you have the document? The answer is no, but I have it. So where are you basing your argument on? I have Lugard's papers. Do you have it? The answer is no. That tells you all you need to know. We continue. A Biafran professor produces anti-vet, that is what it's called, which is an antiviral drug for treating HIV/AIDS. Despite doubts in some quarters about the authenticity of his claims, Professor Madike Ezibe of Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike in Umuahia, has insisted that his recent therapy for the dreaded HIV and AIDS is real and effective. Instead of the zoo, can you imagine an Awasa Minister for Science and Technology or Federal Minister for Health coming down to Mudike and saying, okay, take this $1 billion, go and build yourself a laboratory, keep trying. Let's arrange clinical trials. No, Awasa will never come there. Never. But you want us to be. This is why when Cameron sees this, they say, are they the people asking for independence? They want to be free. They are not free, and they are manufacturing anti-HIV drugs. Imagine what they would do when they're free. Please don't allow them to be free. And Chukwu Abiyama says this time he'll make them blind. That Biafra is coming. Don't be afraid. Once you are afraid, you've lost it. Never be afraid. Our brother has developed a vaccine or drug that will cure HIV. The Pfizers of this world, the Bayer, Bayer of Germany. These are monstrous pharmaceutical companies. They will come to take him. Once they take him, they will pay him money, give him a very good house in Bavaria somewhere or in Manhattan, give him a very good office with a glass table, and his life is over. One day they'll take him to a restaurant, offer him food, and his brain will scatter. And from there he will go mad and they will kill him off. Because they don't want cure for HIV/AIDS. They want retroviral drugs to be taking every blessed day so they'll be making money. It's in their nature. The children of darkness. I'm very happy to say that the cure for HIV came from my hometown. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Of course, we represent the light. The very last capital of Biafra, do you know that? Do you know what it means? I said one day we'll tell you about the mysticism and symbolism of our existence. That time you will understand it. Everything points to one very fact. The restoration of the kingdom of heaven called Biafra. The explosion and subsequent fire that consumed roughly 150 Ghanaians on the evening of June 3rd were preventable. Calamities. The blame for this should be shared by the Accra City Municipal Council for not enforcing building codes and Accra residents for their unbridled dumping of refuse in waterways. Welcome to Africa. People come to waterways and they dump rubbish. Why is that happening? Because this is the first time that such calamity is happening before. 150 people dead, killed. Why? Because an Awasa man is in charge in Ghana. His name is John Mahama. Awasa Fulani. They bring bad luck with them. They are incapable of development. They don't know how to do it. These are Lamajiri. They were raised. You have one man sitting in the middle saying Rankadede. Other people will come and sit around him. They will give them tea and tuwo or fura de nunu. That is their nature. Nobody can change it. They are naturally poor and they are incompetent. Even when the white man came, the white man never took them to go and do any civil service job. No, never. Ask the white man, they will tell you. They are incompetent. They are naturally so. They are naturally incompetent. When they were taking slaves to the Americas, they never took Hausa Fulani. All the slaves they took were from the coast of West Africa. And they will tell you that they want Igbo-speaking slaves. They are the strongest and they are the best. Because they're very strong and they're hardworking. Isn't it? Has anybody ever traced their ancestry back to Awasa land? They say, oh, my family came from Awasa. We were sold as slaves. Have you seen that before? Of course not. They are bumbling, incompetent buffoons from time immemorial. Anywhere they go, they wreck everything. Now, an Awasa man is in charge in Ghana, and there's explosion and fire everywhere, killing 150 people. Very sad indeed. We commiserate with the families of the dead. We commiserate with them. Very sad indeed. This is Radio Biafra. If you're joining us for the very first time, very soon our lines will open, but we have lost contact. We have lost contact.
Triumphant from all our foes, through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious, our trumpets pealing, the glorious song, play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra.
Welcome back, wonderful people of Biafra. We had a slight interruption. I don't know for how long, but as soon as we discovered it, we had to stop our systems and start all over again. These things tend to happen. What they do is that those that Jonathan gave money to, Jonathan is no longer in power. Jonathan devoted $300 million to making sure that they stop us. So what they do is that once they find where we are, they begin to bombard our systems, and sometimes they succeed temporarily, and then until we fix it, it won't happen again. We are continuing, and this is Radio Biafra. I hope you have not lost very much. We will continue with our news presentation The entities of darkness don't like it, and we don't give a damn. Therefore, we must continue. We welcome you back. Don't be disheartened. We are in war. We are in a battle, and we must prevail. We need to prevail because that is the only right thing for us to do. This is Radio Biafra. We are reporting on the news presentation this very evening, which we are gladly telling you about. The Yoruba people who are now seeing giants in their dreams, they can no longer sleep very well, and all the rest of the people looting, cheating, pillaging everywhere that they go to, and the universities that are no longer functioning. And this evening, I also pledged that we would try as much as possible to take as many calls as possible in order for us to bring to the whole world your views and your opinions regarding how collectively we are going to present this very effort of ours, that people may find it palatable, that those of them who are on the sidelines watching may be able to find it palatable. Thank you very, very much. We did, of course, go off a short while ago, but now we are back live and direct. Please, you must try and bear with us. Do try and bear with us, please. This is Radio Biafra. This is Radio Biafra. And also those that stole money, those that looted funds, they are asking. Oh, the zoo. Very, very terrible indeed. Extremely terrible indeed. Everywhere there is criminality. Everywhere there is stealing, everywhere there is pillaging, everywhere you go to, evil is happening all the time. We continue with our news this very evening. Please don't despair. It happens. Of course, we are under attack. We don't have $300 million. They have it. Anytime we come, they attack us. We have solved this problem back in Biafra land. We now have our systems geared up in such a way that they can no longer hack us anymore or attack us. But in the Western world, we are still very vulnerable. And we are working on making sure that we get our systems in order. I don't know what happened just like that. Anytime we come back newly, nothing happens. And then after a while, they start. We must continue with our news presentation this very evening, please. The realization of the stable public power supply may remain a mirage if the current level of sabotage being experienced across the zoo is not immediately checked. Executive Director of Networks of Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, Dr. Albert Okorok, disclosed this yesterday in Owerri, Imo State, on why the zoo is yet to achieve stable power supply. At Oranta Community, which place is Oranta Community? No one has South. Oranta, which place is this? I don't know about this place. Maybe it's a new creation. At Oranta Community in Omaha South Local Government Area, saboteurs vandalized the standing high-tension steel tower. Another set of armed hoodlums stormed our contractor's base at Omaha. Abia State tied the security men and removed 10 drum aluminum conductors used for high-voltage tension wires in broad daylight. The criminality is even happening in broad daylight. But before now, what has happened to the zoo? Before now, what has happened to the power supply in the damnation called the Zoological Republic? Why hasn't anything happened before now? This hasn't happened because of Awasa Fulani being in charge. Awasa Fulani has been in charge, and anywhere you go to and Awasa Fulani is in charge, you are bound to have difficulties. You are bound to have problems. We are also reporting this very evening on the crude oil swap, whatever that means. The Zoo Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, or Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, on Tuesday in Abuja, noted the increasing public concern over fraudulent activities in the management crude oil swaps over the years. Fraud. They are based in Abuja. Fraud everywhere is fraudulent. And these are government agencies, and they are involved in all this fraud. The police is fraudulent. Judiciary, fraudulent. Is it media, journalists? Oh my God. Brown envelope, fraud. There is no aspect of life in the zoo that is immune from fraud. They are all criminals. Can you believe a country you come into, everybody is a rogue? From the airport to taxi driver to everybody. And they all go to some of them go to Pentecostal churches. They call the blood of Jesus, but they are thieves. Criminals. How much is missing? They conducted an audit report that showed that crude oil worth 6.4 billion was swapped in 2012, while the value of refined products was 6.3 billion. All these things in dollars, please. Bringing total revenue loss that the zoo lost to $500 million revenue lost. That money could have built, how many Niger bridges would have built? As many as possible. Because everybody from the president to the last person is involved in stealing. They come out and they claim, oh, we love our country. Oh, we love Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. But that person, the father is a thief. The mother is a rogue. They are in government parastatals. They are in ministries. What is their job is to steal. Is washi. To rob. To steal. Niger State is now asking Aliyu to refund 3 billion naira he stole, a governor that people voted for. You go and you vote for somebody. Look at Oshimolowe of Edo State. He has not paid workers. For 32 months, no payment. Then where is the money? Where is the money? They can't tell you, can they? They don't talk. This is our nation. They call him APC chieftain. Journalists. A journalist cannot go and say, but, oh God, where is the money? They can't ask that question, can they? Cowards. Brown envelope journalists. And we tell them we're not going to pay you. The Niger State government has asked former Governor Babangida Aliyu to refund 3 billion naira he stole. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the State Governor, Dr. Ibrahim Duba, indicated that the money was taken as loan on the eve of his departure. A governor is leaving. He will call his friends in the bank and say, oh, give Niger State loan. No? How much do you want, Oga? 3 billion. What are you going to do with it? I want to steal it. I'm going abroad with the money. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. Politics in the zoo. What does your uncle do? My uncle is a politician, which means that your uncle is a thief. Instead of somebody to say, I'm a professional fraudster and a thief, they say, I am a politician. I am a politician. Very sad indeed, isn't it? Very, very sad indeed. That concludes our news this very evening, of which the signature headline remains the dream. They are now dreaming about us, and their demise is very, very near. Our lines will now open, and you will be at liberty to call Radio Biafra. Our Viber line is already open, and as always, this +44. The line here, the studio line here is +44 78 313 08376. Our WhatsApp line is the same, which is +44 78 313 08376. But please, if your connection is not strong, please do not call us on WhatsApp because we won't be able to hold. If your connection is not strong, do not, I repeat, do not call us on WhatsApp because it won't be able to hold. Our lines are now open and we have restored our connection. You are now at liberty to call Radio Biafra if you wish to do so. If you call us, of course, we will take your call. Our Viber is the same, +44 78 313 08376. That is also for Viber. That goes for WhatsApp as well as Tango. Let us go to the line to see who is there. I have a caller on the phone. Can you hear me? Yes, speaking. I can't hear your voice. Your voice is not clear. Can you move about a bit, please? Your name and where you are.
Good evening, Sam. I'm calling from Aba.
Thank you. Your voice is clear now. Please go ahead.
Okay. My director, I want to start first by thanking you for all your good work. You have been trying. All the while, I think I started listening to this Radio Biafra. I've learned a lot. So the 30th May, I was very glad then. So even I was in Aban that very day. And in front of my house, come and see crowd. There was no road that day. I thank God because whatever one is doing and God is by the person's side, that person will be progressing. So I want to start first. After that 30th May, that was on Sunday morning, there was news that I heard from these people, Magic FM. They said some administrator of the cathedral, that is CKC. That was really around 7 o'clock. That the administrator is warning that those that are using the church premises for.
Okay. Those using church premises for what?
That they should desist from it. That the administrator or whatever that he calls himself, is he not aware of what Buhari is doing now? Is he not aware of people that whatever the assignment that 11 years old girl, you can rape her or whatever? I can't understand. That particular church that he's talking about, is he not the same? Are we not the people that is building that church? Is he the person that built it? Okay, they are supporting Buhari or whatever. In fact, I cannot just tell our faith this time around. But all the same, God is with us. I just want to thank you, Director. Try, continue. God is by your side. We must conquer. I pray in the name of Chukwu Abiyama.
He said, why are we not conquering? Yoruba pastors are on the run. They are running because they are seeing dreams. They are seeing giants in their dream coming to consume them. So why shouldn't they be afraid? They ought to be afraid. I had somebody on WhatsApp. Let me see if they are there. They're calling us from Italy, I believe. And Italy, in terms of connectivity, should be a lot more stronger. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. What is your name and where exactly in Italy are you calling us from?
Yeah, please. I'm coming from Milan, Italy.
Milan in Italy. Please
Yes.
go ahead. Yes, your name. What is your name?
My name is CJ Wachinawaloji.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Director, I thank you for the good work that you are doing for the people of Biafra.
We praise Chukwu Abiyama.
May Chukwu Abiyama bless you triply, bless you 100 times, because we know that in a very good day, that Chukwu Abiyama will give us the state of Biafra.
He said.
In the name of Chukwu Abiyama.
He said.
Please go on with the good work you are doing. Even some people will never believe, but we know that one day it must come true. And this time around, because we are tired of the zoo. We are tired of it because zoo is not a place to live again. We don't need to. We are not neighbors with them. We are living different lives. We are not neighbors. So they have to separate so that they will be on their own. Let them be on their own. So that's it. So all I have is all I have for now, please.
Thank you very much. And they will be on their own eventually. Our lines are open and you are at liberty to call Radio Biafra. If you call us, we will, of course, take your call. As I've informed the head of Directorate of State, there will be a meeting following this very program this evening of all the members of the Directorate of State. This attendance is compulsory, please. Thank you very much. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello, Director.
Yes, please.
Your name. Sir.
Good evening to you.
My name is Wakwe Kalu. I'm calling from Aba.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you. I said go ahead. We are hearing you. Make sure you have enough credit, please. People call us on foreign line without enough credit on their phone and then it cuts off. But go ahead, please. And turn your system down. Turn it down, please. Turn it down. No, not paying attention. If you call Radio Biafra, please turn your system down. Your voice will come through eventually. If you're waiting for your voice to come through, it means you are not very keen on what we are doing.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me? Your name and where you are?
Yes, sir. My name is Emmanuel Amato. I'm calling from Anambra State.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm from around this dog in Okiwe local government, Imo State.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to thank you for the good work you have been doing. May Chukwu Abiyama bless you and your family. But please, I have been trying to check whether I can get this Radio Biafra on my CD, but I couldn't. But I used to listen to it with my phone. So I don't know how I can get it with my CD so that the thing will be loud enough.
You mean to use your radio inside your system, your hi-fi system? No, we have lost him. We are not on CD. We are not. Understand what you mean? You have a combination multimedia player, perhaps. I don't know if you can receive CHK where you are, and if you are listening. If you are listening, then all well and good. You should be able to receive us. If not, then that means we are not in your area. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. The caller on WhatsApp, stay where you are. I will come to you next, please. The caller on the phone, your name and where you are.
I'm Emmanuel Onyekore. I'm from Aba.
Aba is still very strong. Please go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to know the coordinator. I want to start the family meeting in Old Express by Aba. So I'm just organizing people. I'm very, very serious about it. I'm from Umaya.
Okay. What you need to do is to call the inquiry line, which is 090 907.
Wait. I'm not with DK. Let me connect my DK and call you back, sir, please.
Okay, you can pick it up and call us back. Of course, it's also a family radio station, so sometimes we can be as accommodating as possible. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct, and people are calling us from all over the world as we expect them to, because Radio Biafra is listened to all over the world. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Not paying attention. I don't want to hear anything when I pick your call. If I do, I will disengage you immediately. I don't have time for that. If you call Radio Biafra, be prepared to speak immediately. If I hear any noise on the background, I terminate the call. That goes to show you are not serious. I want no noise.
Hello?
Yes, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. They cannot hear me. These are the people who don't. Of course, that was why we lost. People who don't pay attention. Let's continue. No, there is noise on the background. We cannot take that very call. Once there is noise on the background, the answer is no. We don't want it to move away from your listening device. We can play this game for 10 years. I don't mind. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you are?
My name is Sonia Kamba.
And where are you
I'm calling from Anambra State.
Anambra is too big. Where in Anambra are you? Kebin on Anambra, where are you?
Onitsha.
That is better. Precisely. That is better. Please go ahead. All this Anambra Imo rubbish is driving me mad. Go ahead.
Please, I want to thank you for the work you are doing. You are doing great for us with the
Thank you.
But I have an information to give.
Give it.
I have from one somebody today that they are building their radio and TV at your way.
They can build it at Nebuchadnezzar's palace in Mesopotamia. It's not my business. What's that got to do with me? Is Radio Nigeria?
What is my concern there is they are trying to deceive people.
Then only idiots will be deceived. If any fool wants to be deceived, that is their business. After all, Awasa gave birth to many of them. They must be somewhere. Even Awasa must go somewhere because, of course, the spirit of the Most High won't let them come close to us. All these Awasa fathered idiots, they need to go. I don't care what if somebody, we have Radio Nigeria. We have the whole of the Yoruba media. And we're even chasing them in their dreams. It doesn't matter to me what people build is irrelevant to me. Does it matter? If people like to listen to junk and to rubbish, then they're more than welcome to do so. People stop listening to BBC to listen to Radio Biafra. You're telling me what touts are trying to do. Kidnappers and touts opening their... And so what if they're opening it? That is nonsense to me. It doesn't matter. I welcome competition anywhere, any day, anytime. However it comes to us, I accept it graciously. Because I love seeing the enemies of Biafra fall. I enjoy it. The zoo will be the last to fall. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Anne Charlotte Mubari. I'm a Swedish woman, Swedish citizen, white. I'm calling from south of Sweden, city called Malmö.
From Malmö.
And it's an honor and a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I support Biafra with all my heart and all my soul. And I am so happy to tell you that you speak the truth. And I wish everybody could tell the truth the way you speak the truth. And I listen to Biafra every single day, unless it cut. And it's an honor and a pleasure to support Biafra. I march on 30 May supporting Biafrans, and I'm doing my search and my research so I know everything about Biafra and the history. We cannot run away from the truth. And I really have this strong fire to secure. And I would be so happy I will come to Biafra land, and I will be there, and I will support any way I can, any possible way I can. And thank you so much. I've been trying to call so long, and I'm so happy, and I'm blessed to really have talked to you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. A white Swedish lady that listens to Radio Biafra, no affiliations, no attachment to Biafra, but she's a student of Biafra. Onyocha, that what we're saying is the truth. Of course, it is correct. Chukwu Abiyama will raise them from all the corners of the earth to come and restore his kingdom. I dare anybody. I welcome it. I expect, after all, Okorocha tried to set up a fake radio station to stop us. Did he succeed? The answer is no. Are you going to start up a radio station so you can tell them how many hotels you have, how many hostels you have, Kishiswoshi, and kidnapping? Is that what you want to do? So don't you know our WhatsApp people paid other people to be running radio station claiming they are Biafra, that they are sister to us? Who listens to them? One idiot in Germany opened one. Even the wife doesn't listen to him. The wife will listen to Radio Biafra. We are about to defeat BBC and CNN. They make it happen. If they like, let them build a skyscraper. It's not my business. Don't care what they want to build. This is Radio Biafra, one of its kind in the whole world. It's not a white woman that called now. White people listen to us. They might hear people with common sense and brain. They listen to us. A vagabond like Ifajano was really you want to mention on Radio Biafra. He's an non-entity. He's a petty tout and criminal. Can build whatever he likes. Class is permanent. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. Ask the other idiots that opened radio station, what are they today? And when they can't, the answer is no. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Without apology. What apologize for what? On behalf of who? For what reason and purpose? Who are you? I was sent by Chukwu Abiyama. Who sent you? You must answer that question. This is Radio Biafra, the caller on the phone. Can you hear me? The people are not paying attention. I don't know the type of I don't know where they're coming from. Everywhere rubbish. Rubbish was given birth to. Oh my goodness me. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes.
What is your name?
Yes,
you don't want to speak? You think I have time to waste?
Hello?
Yes.
Barata, I'm hearing you.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Ibabuchi Iyoke. I'm from...
That is the problem. It's either that or they are cutting our call. Something is fundamentally wrong. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, I'm hearing you. My name is Aiju Defna.
Where are you calling
from? Aba.
From Aba, thank you. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Aba.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm supporting what you are doing. We continue to bless you.
And bless you too.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you very well. I can hear you. Go ahead.
From our IPOB family. From our.
Thank you very much.
I like what you are doing, and I will be part of Biafran army, and I would like that fight to start now. Other people, they all of them are ready. We are ready too.
I know the army of Biafra is ready. We are the only ones stopping them. We are the ones delaying them. Thank you very much for that. It is good to know. It is good to know. Because we are going to fight and we are going to win. It's as simple as that. Anybody talking about nonsense, there is a way you can go to the back. That person is talking gibberish. The caller on Viber, can you hear me?
Hello, Director.
Yes,
good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you are, please.
This is Okechukwu from Manchester. I'm hailed from Ebuoma in Uguta local government, Imo State, Biafra land.
Thank you.
May Chukwu Abiyama continue to bless you and be with you.
You say?
You are doing a great job for the Biafran people. In fact, the Lord is with you and will continue to be with you.
And also with you. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Before I continue, I would like to make announcement of our meeting. This meeting is very crucial, is very important to all the indigenous people, the IPOB, people living within the greater Manchester. We'll be having a meeting on this coming Friday on the 12th of June 2015. The usual place of meeting, Manchester Central Fire Station, Committee Room, and Thompson Street. The postcode is M45FP. Please, all our listeners, please, it is time for you to come out. It is time for you to come and join your brothers and your sisters, those of you from Igbo meeting, those of you from all the other clans of the Biafran territory. This is time for you to come and coordinate or work with your brothers and your sisters. The number to call if you are missing your way is 079 31 93 9358. That is the coordinator's number, or you call our PRO's number, which is 0744 616 496. It is very important that our people should come for this very important meeting. There are a lot of important things to discuss. May the Lord continue to bless you, Director. In fact, last time when I was praying and then I casted a lot in the Bible, I said, God, I want you to lead me and speak to me regarding this Biafran issue. When I opened the Bible, where my hand opened and I had read was about how Elijah was taken to heaven and Elisha was waiting and praying for God to give him double portion of Elijah's power. And Elijah said,
Can you hear me?
And when he came, he did a great job. Yes, I can hear you.
Repeat your last sentence, please. Your last statement, because it wasn't very clear. Can you repeat, please?
Okay, I said that I was praying last time for several days, and after that I said, God, I want you to lead me through your word and show me things or speak to me regarding what we are doing. And God, when I opened the Bible, I casted a lot in the Bible, and where I opened was about Elisha and Elijah's story. So Elijah received double anointing because he was vigilant to know when Elijah was taken up from him. And I want to tell you that you are that Elisha. You got the double anointing and the double power of Ojuku or Dimegu. And whatever the Bible says there, the word of Elisha that fell on the ground, every word he spoke came to pass. And that is exactly what is happening in your life and in this radio. So, the Lord is with you.
And also
continue your great work. Yeah, I'm asking our people, wherever you are, it is time for us to support what we are doing, and also in prayer, you shall anything that is a thorn to the flesh of the Biafrans, for God to destroy it. Anything whatsoever that is a thorn in the flesh of the Biafran people, may the Chukwu Abiyama continue to destroy it and put it in Jesus' name. In the name of Yeshua.
Ise, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Of course, we had slight intermittency before, but we are back, re-enthused and re-energized to carry out this very special project. And once again, I must announce that the Directorate of State meeting will follow immediately after this very program this evening, and attendance is, of course, compulsory, please. The caller unknown, we have lost them. They are no longer there. I don't know what is happening to that very line. I have no idea what is happening. It keeps coming and it keeps going. Let us try once again to see who is on the phone line. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. What is your name? Oh, these people, they don't listen. Why don't you listen? If you call Radio Biafra, turn your system off. God in heaven. People who don't listen. No wonder I was a Jinach, don't pay attention. Very, very sad indeed that people, grown-ups, don't reason very well. When you call Radio Biafra, turn your system off. As simple as that. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, my name is Bresterman.
Thank you very much. And where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Leeds, United Kingdom.
Thank you very much. The world is listening. You may proceed.
Yeah. Yeah, Director, please, I want to talk about the Yoruba pastors that had a dream. You see, that man is like the spirit of Biafra is working now. He's working properly because he will tell others. Because I heard him say something. Because I even listened to that on YouTube. Not only I listened to because I understand Yoruba properly. So I listened to the dream, the way he narrated it. So I noticed that the spirit of Biafra is working. He will tell others. He will tell all the evil pastors and evil reverends in that Biafra in the zoo how the spirit of Biafra works. Because it's not, they just see it and maybe they don't know how strong the spirit of Biafra is, but then we know it now. I'm even happy the way he said that because he said that he even know maybe discuss with Buhari or something like that maybe. So he's like a powerful pastor that all of them know each other. They are in the same court. All the evil people that control the zoo. They know it now. I think it's even good that the way the spirit visits him himself, he will tell others how strong that spirit is. That is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. As we reported earlier, maybe some of you don't know that the former CBN governor and also one of the financiers of Boko Haram, the terrorist that actually cut off the head of Gideon Akaloka. Some of you don't know this, but we'll tell you. He is the Emir of Kanu, Sanusi Lamido, who has a house in Niamey, also in Niger Republic. He is the former central bank governor and is set to marry a 16-year-old girl as his fourth wife. The new wife is the 16-year-old daughter of the Lamido of Adamawa, 16 years old. Welcome to the world of pedophiles. Pedophilia everywhere in Awusa Fulani land. And this is the people that Britain wants me to be a part of. A people celebrated pedophiles. Pedophilia. How would you like your little daughter to be married to a very disgraceful, diseased, old Awusa Fulani man? How would you like it? The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm calling you, sir.
Thank you very much. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Chukwubikem Chikwere. I'm calling from Aba, here from Isialangwa North.
Aba is too powerful. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I have something that is troubling me so much.
What is that?
Some people call this station a radio station, and I call it a university of knowledge, because this station gives me a lot of joy and a lot of inspirations. My director, in the side of our brothers that is in Iguacha. So, somebody that is in the deep of dark for a long time. And whenever you bring light to such a person, he will run into the dark the more. So I can say that they need more vitamins of this message so that they will bring out what they have in time to come. My director, I'm very glad of this message. This message is more than what we think about. On the other hand, concerning our struggle, the struggle of Biafran is not a struggle of today. It has been started for a long time now. And these people we are talking about is our brothers. Let us call them with the dialect they will understand, so that they will join us and enjoy whatever that will come out from this struggle. My director, let's continue this journey in that aspect. On the other hand, the issue of, I don't know whether this issue of reincarnation is true. I don't know whether it is true or not. My director, what happened in Aba in 38 is a marvelous something. If at all that issue of reincarnation,
yes.
If at all what happened if at all the reincarnation is true, what happened in Aba on 38 is something that you should think about. Because these people that died on 38, during the war, have come back to life again. And if the world allow them to fight again, it will be more dangerous. So that's the area I'm going. So let us fight this battle. If it can happen now, let it happen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I know Abba is ready. Anytime, any day, Abba is ready. And we are not going to fail you. We can never, ever disappoint you, because we are going to go to war. We will fight. In the end, we win. When I told our WhatsApp pastors that in the end we win, they thought we are joking. We've not even met them in battle, only in the dream, and they are running. They have nightmares. Oh, dear me. They have nightmares and they are running. They shouldn't run. They shouldn't. Because more is coming. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello, Director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ishuku Azonna, calling from Aba.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Director, in our area, we don't have any family meeting around us, and people are worried. So they were saying that we should, people should gather. We start. I say, no, that I will call you first, so we will give us the direction. If you can allow us to open a family meeting around where we are.
Yes, you have my permission to do so.
So how will I?
You are going to convene a meeting, then you will contact the ABA coordinator or the ABIA coordinator Ikechuku to also come and inaugurate you people. I have your telephone number here, and I'm going to send that to our sister, Gift Ahamefula, who will make sure that the requisite people that they receive it, and then from there you'll be contacted tonight or tomorrow morning. But go ahead and organize our people where you are. Biafra belongs to everybody. Simple as that.
Okay, sir. The number we need to send to me.
Somebody is going to call you tonight or tomorrow morning. Be rest assured. In fact, tonight they're going to call you. Don't worry about that. But you must organize people where you are. Go and organize them where you are.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That is what I want to hear. That is what I like to hear. People taking the initiative and making sure that they belong to this very family. You can start family meeting where you are, but make sure you contact us eventually to... You must be under oath, of course. I hope you're aware of that. Under oath. If you go and sell us out, you will die. Not only you will perish, but all your generations will collapse. Your name will be wiped away from the face of the earth if you betray Biafra. I am under the same oath. Everybody treads very carefully. If you betray Biafra or do anything to jeopardize Biafra, your family name will be obliterated from the face of the earth. You will no longer exist. Your name will no longer. But if you serve your country, your nation in truth and honesty, My goodness me. Then we show you the meaning of Onurubewan Nabal also. You don't know before, but we'll show you. We will show you the meaning of it. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct.
No, this which you're from Anambra.
You say from Anambra. Anambra
From Anambra State. Which you're from Anambra State.
Where in Anambra are you from? Nnewi, Onitsha. Oka, Idemili. Where are you from Anambra?
Onitsha.
That is better.
Onitsha.
Anambra is too big. Please go ahead.
All right. I want to thank you for what you have done about Biafra.
Thank you.
This June, they already disappointed us and they have already wicked us. So I want to thank you for everything you have done. That's what makes me confident. Thank you, sir.
You say, thank you very much for that. Thank you very, very much. We are live and we are also direct. We are taking our calls. And I don't know, I have explained to people before that our Viber is also on. I don't know, Abba is too dominant. Abba is way too dominant. Even though, and they are calling the studio line here in the UK. Amazing stuff. Amazing. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, Director, I can hear you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Igbo. I'm calling from Abba.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Director, I'm very, very happy to hear your voice today. And I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Can we get a bomb that can turn Afro upside down? Because I need to destroy Afro. I need Afro to turn upside down.
We shall do so. They will give us the reason to go after them. They will attack us first. Once they do that, the world will hear it and then we can go after them. So don't worry about that. They will give us the opportunity. The Alamajiri will give us the impetus and opportunity to go after them. And we will. This time around, we are going to fight for 1,000 years. In the end, we win.
Because I strongly believe that we are going to win. They will not have any way they will not have any road to enter this Biafran land. We block them at River Benue. We block them every boundary. We are going to kill even a fowl in that Hausa land. Because I'm not happy. Even if I see these people that with Chinese shoes, I'm angry. I want to start killing them one by one. Let them be dying. If I have bulldozer, I will go to Express, but I'm pull down that mosque there. I don't need to defend the mosque there. So, whatever thing we are doing, let's find a way. Get a bomb to destroy that Afro. That Afro. When you turn that Afro upside down, then the whole world will know that something is happening.
They know that. And they know how serious we are. And they know we are coming with vengeance. If they are sensible and reasonable, they should take the oil money they have stolen and go and marry every 9-year-old around their village or where they come from and travel to Dubai and have fun. If they try to stop us, we will die with them. All that money they stole, the white Swiss bankers will take the money because some of them, their wives are so primitive, they don't even have the account number. I remember the wife of Samuel Doe in early 90s in London. She was living in Hackney. She was on housing benefit. She was receiving, then it's not called job seekers allowance, it's called income support. The wife of Samuel Doe does not know the combination to the husband's looted money in Switzerland, and she was living on public handouts in the east of London. Most of them and their useless wives, they don't even have the common sense or the decency to, and now I've told them, they will start changing it. Useless people. No, they are not there and they cannot hear me. The lines are failing, not any fault of ours. Let's try once again. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
My name is Eze Madoka. I'm residing in Naija. That is in Mpo, but I'm from Imo State. I'm in the 35.
Thank you. Go ahead.
God bless you. Chukwu Abiyama bless you mightily for the great work you're doing for us.
You say?
I was in that Aba, but
the reason why we really went to that about was because of the so-called sniper or whatever they are called. Yes, we went there and they were thoroughly, so many hotels were searched. That some people, I think they described that they saw a place they were selling human beings or eating human beings in another state. We wanted to show them a lesson. That is, at least their dead bodies will be eaten like those ones they saw. But they were very happy. They were very lucky.
They were very lucky.
So, director, really, there was one bastard called pastor. He was a pastor from Edo. He's a pastor and a Yoruba pastor.
Yes, a few days ago.
Yes, he was a bastard, and he's a bastard. I left Yoruba Church 2009, even before I knew about RadioBiafra. I knew RadioBiafra about 3 months ago. That particular time, I scented the mountain on fire by prayer. After praying, when much prayer was conducted, nothing happened. My wife was pregnant of 8 months. Used that same hour, fasted in that period, that condition she was, fasted, and extremely nothing happened. So all those Yoruba people, they are complete pagans, both them and their so-called churches. But it's quite unfortunate that the so-called Biafrans are dumping their money to the cowards. After collecting our oil, collecting our everything, they still come and collect our hard earnings in the name of church and pastors. The worst part of it is that most of their pastors are fornicators and adulterers, to the point that even the people that goes to their church to worship, they commit whoredom with them. It's really pathetic and horrible. That is apart. Then concerning Britain, I want to say here categorically that Britain is a symbol of evil. Whether they like it or not, they are a symbol of evil. And the blood of the Biafrans that they killed, and the Hausas and Yorubas killed, those blood will fight against them, both their Queen of Elizabeth, because the money she's eating, the money they're eating is blood money. It's the blood of the Biafrans they eat and they're eating. And mark my word, what has happened to Syria? Because Syria, through the Bible, Syria and Iraq ruled the whole world through Nebuchadnezzar. But Syria and Iraq is in shambles today. Let me tell you the truth. In the near future, if there is Britain and the Scottish or whatever they call themselves, will be worse than the condition of Syria and Iraq. That is their portion. And God, Chukwu Abiyama, will surely do it. In the name of Yeshua. Amen. Director, yes. Keep on with what we are doing. We are solely behind it, but my annoyance is so much that I have tried to locate our so that I will contribute my own quota. And I have tried so many means. Last time we went to Aba, I tried to do to the crowd was so much. Then we were busy on some other issues we went there for. So that was the reason why I couldn't be able to locate the place until we came back. And I've been trying to get in touch with the so that I will be a full member, so that I partake in whatever others are doing. So that is just what I want to tell you. Concerning also the issue of that is what is happening in this country, that is so-called zoo. You should not panic yourself, because God, Chukwu Abiyama, have exposed the Hausas and the Yorubas. And let me tell you the truth, Yorubas are more than evil than the Hausas. Yes, Hausas, but that is their own goes with religion. That is true. But Yorubas are the more devil. And the way you see Yorubas is the way you see Britain. They are those are criminals. The chief criminal is the Britain and the Scottish, because they are the ones that empower these people to be looting those money and bringing it to them. Because that is the death of the same thing that flock together. And I want to tell the whole Africans to mark this Britain and the Scottish. They are criminals, including Obama. And when you see Obama is a symbol of evil. It's a complete symbol of evil. There was a time when I read through the Yahoo, he wanted to sneak in, that is the 5 million of immigrants, and those immigrants are the Muslims to USA, to America, but the court rejected it. That man is a devil. He's a devil incarnate. But all is devil, even this IC that is happening is Obama that is superheading the whole thing. But he go in a camouflage way. But Chukwu Abiyama will expose him and all his devil. And he and his wife and his children and his generation will surely repeat. So my director,
May Chukwu Abiyama bless you. Bless all the IPOB worldwide. Bless all the Biafrans worldwide. In the name of Yeshua, I pray.
He said, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. And we are taking calls via +44783130836. The same number for Viber as well, for WhatsApp too. The caller on the phone.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you are, please.
My name is Badmos Ebuliko Noha. I'm calling from my hometown, Ihikenansa.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I reside in Umuahia, but I'm now in my hometown. Okay. I heard the last caller was complaining about the Britain, America, and the Scottish. We have to be straightforward in whatever we are doing. Adolf Hitler said that what makes of a man is how strong you stand, while others are falling, including those that you fall with your own hands. And I don't think we should be complaining about those that make us unhappy or those that in pains or not. It is time for us to refortify ourselves and make others pay, or even make people receive pains, even if they don't want it. We should stop complaining and go for action.
If you don't, let me tell you that was why. Do you know why Gowon is still free till today? Do you know why Haruna is still free? Let me finish, please. It's because we stopped complaining. There is a way the world works. I live in the British Society. I know how they function. They believe that if something is rightfully yours, you should keep pursuing it. This same attitude that we have of doing something small and leaving it is the reason why we fought a war for 3 years. Southern Sudan fought for 30 years. So for every year we fought in the Biafran war, Southern Sudan fought for 10 years. In the end, Southern Sudan became free. If you're pursuing something that is righteous, there is no way, even if the whole world is against you, they can never ever sustain it. They can't. I know people will tell me about the Tamil of Sri Lanka. But what I need to say to them is this. The Tamils had a time when they could have stopped pressing offensively. They could have sat back to consolidate. They decided to continue engaging in activities they shouldn't have. And they conspired against them the same way they conspired against us. The same thing that happened to Biafra happened to Tamil. But they have their own political party. They have their own representatives. They were assured that they can look for their independence through the ballot box. That option is not open to us. Scottish people, that is the hypocrisy of them. Our brothers wondering why do we mention British all the time? Because Britain colonized you. They gave you church. The church you have today. As I told you before, my mother has a rapper, Mary Sumner, English woman. So you don't follow what they have done to us before. We know what we are doing. They are our problem and we have to keep mentioning them because they have come to do the work of Satan. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? When you call Radio Biafra, please be very, very direct. Please be very, very direct. I plead and I beg of you. I beg of you, be direct, please. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Good evening, Sir Director.
Good evening. Yes, go ahead. Your name and where you are.
My name is Francis. I'm calling from Aba.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
I really support for what you are doing. We are so happy for what you are doing for Biafra. I pray for God Almighty to bless you, continue blessing you for your good work. We are really supporting on you. Continue doing it. God will bless you and guide your family.
You say?
Hello, can you hear?
Loud and clear. I can hear you very well. He said, thank you, our people. They can be lovely sometimes. not minding what they're doing. All those vagabonds that our men fathered during the war, even afterwards. I don't know if I hate you more or if I hate your father more. I don't know who I hate more than the other. There must be a blood test in Biafra land. DNA screening for everybody. If we find a trace of Hausa blood in you, we take you back to Sokoto Caliphate. That is where you belong. So it is better you go and work with them now so we can kill you on time before we go into our nation, our country, Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Sir.
Yes, please. Your name and where you are,
Yes,
please.
my director. God bless you, sir. Calling from Oji Owerri. My name is Anayo Anyang.
Thank you. Anna Yanyang, are you listening to Radio Biafra right now?
Yes, sir. I am fully loaded and listening to Radio Biafra here in Oji. I am member for Indigenous people of Biafra, Owerri West.
Thank you. Go ahead, Owerri West. Very strong. Please go ahead.
Sir, God bless you, sir. We are really happy and we are happy with you. I want to give you the information concerning about what you asked about Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The young man, that stupid man that told us the house of Fulani is from Zungeru. He was delivered, he was, pregnanted with one Aramadiri Fulani before the father gets married to the mother at Zungeru. That is why all the whole people in Onitsha refuse to give him the original title of the origin of people of Onitsha. And they give him Owele of Onitsha. That's the same Owele they give Malam Okorota is the same Owele they give Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Then that young man Azikiwe is from Zungeru, actually Onitsha man. They will tell you that man is from Zungeru. That is number one. Then there is another tribe in Cross River that we are missing. Those people, their capital is in Calabar, Cross River, and they speak one language called Nigerian language. That is where you get a come from there, you reach Obuda, from there you reach Ekafam, from there you reach Bakasi. That name, Bakasi, means no-go area. That is the land they used to bribe, they used to bribe Cameroon not to allow them to bring food for our electricity so that they will die in hunger and die in starving. So we are missing one tribe over there, and they are calling us to come and play with Biafra in that cross river called Ecom. Then there is something I text a message this afternoon. I called you because because we are really happy with you. What we are telling you today, we are telling you that even though we have listened to you in a way that even if you ask us to fall into the before, because we love you and we love Biafra. And we all have determined that we will die in Biafra land because Biafra land is us. And it's our fatherland. We are not running. We only Hausas and the man because we run for us. Because they are the people that are determined to destroy us. And since they are determined to destroy us, the land of Biafra will destroy them. Because they all are spies. They are spies. Because the land of Biafra will never harbor them. They are saying that Malam Okota and his colleagues will run away from this place because he come to plant Islamic. He plans to build an Islamic school now, and he's producing, Alakoba in community schools. So, my director, I am really happy with you. It's only my God will bless you. I will tell you the message from Chukwu Ajama. And I thank you because you mentioned that man, the commandant of the whole universe. Only when the moving a matter.
Nobody else. Nobody else. Chukwu Okike Abiyama.
The day Biafra will come. The day Biafra will come. Whoever gives you clearly about they know that. See it and people see it and they witness it. So I am really happy with you. God bless you, sir.
And you too. Thank you very much. From Owerri West, or J to be precise. Our message is spreading. Igwocha is a letdown. On a Wutem, we have spent so much money at Igwocha relay station. It keeps falling. Iguacha keeps falling. We keep spending money, it keeps falling. We are good, of course, as you know, we are indefatigable, which means we never ever get tired due to disappointment. We'll continue until Iguacha stands. Somebody is telling me that Iguacha is when, if they listen to Radio Biafra, they'll be stronger than Abba. I said it's not possible. It's not possible. Abba is the heartbeat of Biafra itself. Abba, our mothers came to Abba from Calabando to say to hell with the white man. Abba is way too formidable. But they are insisting, saying Iguacha is strong. Do you know that? Ikwere people, that they believe in Biafra more than Abba people. I said it's not possible. We are going to fix their station for them. We will rectify it. As I said, we have a meeting following this. At the conclusion of this program this evening, the Directorate of State will meet. We have things to discuss, very important, because I want to celebrate 30th of May in Biafra land next year. Every year, I'm tired of it. I haven't come here. My job is not freedom fighter. We have come to restore our country. We'll do so, and then we'll move on. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, Director, good evening.
Good evening to you.
My name is Benjamin Oji. I am calling from Abba.
Thank you very much.
And in fact, I have tried this number from January to this time. And it is an act of God. It is an act of God that I got your number now while you are in London. Director, I want to express solidarity with you. The very day I started listening to Radio Biafra, and you said, God, as you chukua Biama, as your people, you and your people to come, that you will bring Biafra. That was, in fact, that is the thing. I don't know how to explain it. It is heavy in my heart. At the time, look, it is heavy in my heart. Please, I want to thank every member of the IPOB all over the world. I want to thank them lest I forget. Director, look, what happened to the Jews? It's exactly a repetition of what is going to happen in Biafra. I know that God is solidly behind you because all the things that happen from the words you say, which never fall to the ground, to be all the things that are happening to you and the thought you are with in Aba or wherever in Biafra land. In fact, it is very, very evident that the hand of Chukwu Kikadiama is in this project. That is my happiness. That is my joy. That is my confidence. That is my everything. See, Director, look, there was a book I read some time ago called Ode Sapphire. That was the title of the book. In that Ode Sapphire, it was a chronicle, in fact, part of it, chronicle of the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust. In fact, in a camp, a concentration camp, they called Sobibor. In fact,
I know, Escape from Sobibor. Escape from Sobibor. Yes, I've watched it many times.
Exactly. That is, yes, there is a video to that effect. Yes, you are correct. You are very correct. In fact, one of the chronicles, one of the diaries written by one Solomon Toba, he began by saying that some men's sins are beyond comprehension and therefore unforgivable, beyond forgiveness. You see what the how South Fulani and the Yoruba have done to us, it's beyond pardon. It's beyond pardon. I like this thing that you say every day on a daily basis that these people, in fact, that they will just. Hello?
We are listening. Go ahead.
Hello?
It stopped. Yes, go ahead. We are listening.
So, in fact, I like it. They think, it's just I don't have enough time. So I want to express solidarity. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will bless you and your family and your generations to come, because you are the Moses and as well as the Joshua of our time. There's nothing that will stop this project. I want to thank you and thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama. I want to thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for bringing you. And in fact, next time I will call you because I will have may Chukwu Abiyama continue to strengthen you, give you the verb and energy to continue to speak what you are speaking. Since I came to Radio Biafra, look what I have learned there. It's not, look, I don't listen.
Nobody listens to anything else. If people can abandon BBC and CNN to listen to Radio Biafra, which other junk pile are you going to listen to? Are they going to tell you the truth that they have not spoken before? Do you know how truthful we are here? How many of you can rise up and look a Pentecostal pastor in the face and tell him he's a bloody liar? None of you could before, but Radio Biafra did. And now they have nightmares. Because as we pray all the time, we want Chukwu Okike Abiyama to go forth and warn our enemies of what is to come. As I told you, I don't fight like a coward. I will tell you what I'm going to do before I do it, so that when I actually do it and you're paralyzed, you can't do anything about it. As I said, we swallow you whole. You'll be breathing, and we'll swallow you. You can't do anything about it. Absolutely nothing. No amount of envy, greed, or jealousy can save you. It's not possible. We are not being arrogant or just telling you the facts. We are unstoppable. Imagine what will happen when we go into Igbo fully. What will happen? The army I will command will be nothing less than 2 million men. 2 million, I said, at arms. We will destroy the zoo. Complete and utter destruction. Only singular command. Only one command. And the zoo will be burnt down. I want the world to remember who we are. You see our people they killed. They will see a pregnant woman. They will cut open her stomach. The child will come out and they will kill the baby as well. The woman will see herself bleeding to death. And some of you think is a joke. We should just forget and forgive. Name one Nigeria. Any Biafran who believes in one Nigeria. What I wish upon you, you don't want to know. What I wish upon you and your children, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Anybody who believes in one Nigeria, you will suffer. Your children's children will suffer. Awusa will rape your grandchildren. Your daughters at the age of 9 will be ravaged by diseased Awusa Fulani men. You will bear the pain and the suffering of screaming children as they're being thrown alive into wells. I'm telling you, you will suffer. If you believe in one Nigeria, you will suffer. Your generations will suffer. No wonder they're not paying some of you. No wonder they can't pay you, even your salaries. You're suffering already, aren't you? You believe in one Nigeria. One Nigeria. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Yes, your name and where you are, please.
Yeah, Director, I'm very glad. I've been trying to call the line ever since. My name is Uchenna, Maxwell Uchenna. I prefer to be called Uchenna as a real Biafran name. I'm actually from Delta State. My village is a very remote place, and I've googled it on the internet. It's not in the internet. So it's around Ogwashuku. Do you know the place Ogwashuku, Director?
I know Ogwashuku very well. It's Igbo land. What is the name of your village? What is the name of your village?
I don't say, sir. Very close to Kwaba. By the express, at the Kwale Road, sir.
Kwale Road. And where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm in my village. I've been listening to Biafra radio.
You're listening to Radio Biafra in your village, in your daddy's car.
Yes, sir. Very clear and crystal, sir. Very clear and crystal.
Goodness. Please go ahead.
And I don't have enough answers. So I want to tell you that Radio Biafra really enlightened me and educated me. And like you said this evening, my daddy just locked his car, so he has gone inside the house. But I've been trying to call the number. I'm glad I got to you, sir.
You did very well. I'm also very happy you got through to us.
So you don't know how happy I'm talking to you right now, sir. You don't know how happy I am.
Thank you very much. The world is hearing your voice. That is how marvelous it is. A very young man in the father's car, very close to Guashugu, and is receiving Radio Biafra. Do you know that there are remote villages that Radio Biafra gets to? Some of them don't even know what they're listening to. But every night they congregate. The gospel of truth and redemption. The gospel of restoration. Being spoken here without fear or favor. If you do well, we praise you. If you misbehave, we shred you. Isn't it very funny? Oh, well, of our nature. Oh, well, of Imo State. Both of them, I was born. No wonder. In fact, that is why you can never see any genuine Biafran, fully blooded man or woman telling you they believe in one Nigeria. I have said this thing to you before and I will say it again. If you find anybody that is answering Okechukwu or you find Ichukwu and they say they believe in one Nigeria, they will not fight for Biafra. I bet you everything I have that their father is Awosa. I'm telling you. Why do I know this? It's because freedom and liberty is part and parcel of who we are. Freedom and liberty is Biafra. There is no Biafran that wants to live a life of subjugation and slavery. Biafrans were taken to Haiti. They fought and defeated an army that came from Europe. We were at the forefront of every slave rebellion in the USA. Ask and they will tell you. We are the only people to commit suicide and serve a white man in America. I have been to the place. You know, I don't believe in second-hand talk. Our brother who is our Metro Atlanta coordinator, Naija, and that woman, you heard her voice yesterday, Mrs. Amaka Wanebo. She came with her children. Naija drove me for 5 hours. From one part of Atlanta to the other, 5 hours. America is very big. We're in one state, Georgia only. We traveled for 5 hours to go to the very spot of Igbo landing where our people came down from the ship and they told them they're going to serve the white man. They said, to hell with all of you. They went to the river and they drowned than to serve another man. Are you telling me that such people from that bloodline will come out and say they want Hausa to rule them? Of course not. That's how I know you're fake. Go and read the book. I read Alex Haley's roots. He was not a Biafran. He did not come from Biafra land, but as I kept reading this, of course, very fascinating piece of work. I read it. That's about 18 or 19 years old, and I can never forget. Roots. Alex Haley's book. I read it. What was the book talking about? It was talking about the history of slavery. About Kunta Kinte, all those story. Until he got to the path of the Igbo landing in a place called Savannah in Georgia, instead of Georgia. They showed us the creek. I saw the water and I fetched the water and I have it. And I prayed. These are the places we went to go and take permission. I went to Jerusalem and I went to where our people said they will never be slaves to pray at that very place. Now you understand what we are doing. It takes more than that. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the
phone. Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chukwujike Joseph.
Where are you based? Where are you calling from now? Where are you calling from? No, the line is not very clear. We are about to bring today's program to a close. Sometimes I want to continue for maybe 4 or 5 hours. I don't know. There is a piece of news that came to light today. I've been asking Emeka to try and explain to me how old this news is. And some of you don't take something serious. This is one of those pieces of innocuous news. You know, sometimes people say, well, I don't hate Yoruba people. I know 1 or 2 or 3 Yoruba people may be good. I'm not saying that. I had a friend when I was at university, Chris Olokwa, very nice person, Yoruba, very good. We had dealings with the brother, Opsi. I'll never forget. He ran away with my laptop, 4. He stole it and ran away. I didn't bother. Chris is a very good human being. He's Yoruba. I'm not saying every Yoruba person is evil, but I'm saying that the majority are very, very bad. There is a picture I am seeing here in front of me that has been sent to me. There are Yoruba people carrying placards everywhere. And this is why we are having a meeting after this. I want to take CHK to Lagos. We want to show them how strong we are. We are going to Lagos. Come hell or high water, we are going to Lagos to preach this gospel. Now, in this very thing that they have, they're saying, Igbo people, respect our Oba, our culture, or we kick you out. These are Yoruba people protesting inside Lagos. Now, some of you, because of your nature, some of you are doesn't mean you have to go to school. Some of us don't have common sense. So you dismiss this news as nothing. The same thing happened to the Jews. They were warning them they will kill them. They were busy partying until it happened. Yoruba is evil. Yoruba, listen very, very carefully. Our admin on Facebook, Radio Biafra London, the largest of its kind in the world, go and use this particular picture as the group photo there. In every forum where we are, I want this picture to be used to remind our people of their idiocy. Those of you building hotels and houses in Yoruba land, I want to remind you of your stupidity. Because I had some idiots say, Igbo land is too small, it cannot contain us. Why don't you have your business in Onitsha or in Aba or Newi or even Omoahia for that matter, or Kigwe or even Calabar or Iguacha? Why can't you have your business in Ogoja? What's wrong with it? Why not Abakaliki? You say because it's too far from the market source. But you board an aeroplane and travel for 3,200 miles to go and buy shoes from northern Italy. Is that not correct? To go and buy just shoes from Italy. You fly to Italy. You go to Dubai to go and buy Weavon. Is that not correct? So you're telling me that somebody cannot travel for less than 1 hour flights to come to where you are to buy what you're manufacturing. It's called warped thinking. I want this very placard, this protesting picture of Yoruba people to be widely circulated. Not because you will react, for the you won't do anything, but it's just to remind you of what is to come, that they don't love you. The same thing I said to Alison Madueke in 2010, I am saying to you today. In fact, 2009, I said it. End of it. These people, they don't love you. And they will never love you. So uncle, there is nothing you do. If you like, build skyscraper, give it to Yoruba for free. They will hate you. If you like, be the best minister you can be in the zoological republic. Our Fulani will never love you. Never. We need guns and we need bullets, and leave the rest to us. This army will fight, he will win, and you'll be free. Guns and bullets, never forget. That's what we're looking for. I cannot authorize for banks to be broken into. We can break into banks with our number and armaments we have and take money. But I am not going to offend heaven. Chukwokika Biama said we will not steal. Do you see the 10 Commandments? That's what he said. We must observe it. Do you want Biafra to come? Look at my laws that I have given and keep it. And I will give you Biafra. I am not prepared to go and steal. If you think that freedom is worth fighting for, then you pay for it. You're not going to go to war. Then why can't you buy us 1 or 2 or 3 rifles? What is wrong with that? After all, you're not going to go to war to go and fight, are you? You're going to sit at home. Then equip the army to go and fight and get your freedom for you. They don't love you and they never will. This evening, this gospel has been preached here on this very platform. And some of you came with the notion that they're just listening to a radio station. But we are very special, as the white lady even from Sweden confirmed. Black people don't listen to us because they know we castigate them. It's the whites that listen. And they know we are preaching the truth. Not because we hate anybody, but because we want truth to prevail. Britain hasn't done well by us at all. Britain is more or less doing the work of Satan, of Lucifer. Britain stopped Israel. And today they apologize. Do you know that? You know, Britain went today to go and apologize to Israel for stopping the children of the Most High from hitting the Holy Land that Chukwu Abiyama gave to them. Who built Jerusalem? The city of David. Who built the temple in Jerusalem? It was Solomon. But do you know that Britain wanted to give that to Alakoba, to Islam? Are you aware of that? Because Britain, sometimes they behave as if they have come against the will of the Most High. A country that is civilized. The most civilized country on earth. But the political leaders they produce have just come here to do the will of Lucifer. An average UK, English, Scottish, Welsh person is very nice. Gentle people, very calm and very gentle. But their politicians, evil men, very wicked and evil individuals. That is why they cannot mention Biafra, can they? But to us, Biafra is much more than a nation. It is not even a country. Biafra is our religion. Here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. We worship heaven here on Radio Biafra. Why do we do so? Because only Chukwokika Biama is creation and the creator that the white man called God. We don't worship anything else. Nothing. Apart from him. In terms of praise, of course, you can give praise. But worship is different from praise. Praise means he kele mad ni human. Yes, yandewo no man. That you can do with your Yeshua. But worship, you reserve for Chukwu Okike Abiyama. That is why he will bless all of you. That is why he will sustain you, he will nourish you, keep you and your family safe for his kingdom that is to come. But more importantly, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will bless that very kingdom. It is called Biafra, and it is coming imminently. Till tomorrow, from me, from here. Good evening.